shit.
Hightailed it out of there.
Are you crazy? Don't go between them! Go between them! Are you crazy?
Welcome to my home.
Good morning. Good morning. It's another glorious Saturday morning, about to be Saturday afternoon. And we have so many things to talk about. But today, we're going to do the first annual worst of and best of last year. Now, I haven't been a fan of the worst of videos because it literally is subjective, but most of the worst of videos are talking about like actual technical stuff. And if you don't have an Atmos surround system, like I don't know if you could really make an opinion on it. I mean, everybody's an opinion. I'm just a guy behind a camera with opinions, but that's why I don't like to get involved with that. But I went with the whole idea of these are the movies I watched last year that I didn't like. So that's where we're going to go with that. But the best of is going to be a combination of movies I love and the actual releases. So we have, 4K packaging, stuff that we hadn't had before on new upgrades. And I want to show off some of the new stuff I got before I dive into that. So normally we do what's coming out, stuff I'm excited for, the pre-orders and everything that's been announced. So we're going to go back to that regular scheduled programming next week. But today we're going to start this annual what was the best and the worst of 2024 in my opinion. And obviously, it's all subjective. So if your favorite movies make my worst list, it's nothing against you. It's just I didn't like the movie. Let's see. Good morning. We have quite a few people here. All right, let's see. What do we got? And we have Thomas DeCarlo. Hey, what's up, brother? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, brother. Oh, and I just want to point this out. So I ordered this shirt. I had these shirts made, so I think I'm going to change it because these are the they're not like cheap. They're nice shirts, but they're the least expensive to make. So then the cost transfers over to everybody. And so then these ones seem to be the most popular because I ordered this back before Thanksgiving and it just showed up this morning because I fully intended to wear this shirt today. And these are the ones that I really love, but they're a little bit more expensive to make. So I think we're going to go to these ones. And then this is what I have there. So these ones, they're not that much more expensive. So I got to figure out like the cost and everything. So I might still do these and offer them, but they do take a while. Like this was the longest that it ever took, but this was my Christmas shirt list. And obviously Christmas is over, but I'm wearing it today out of spite because I ordered it back in November and it should have been here a long time ago. We have that. Happy New Year, brother. JJ the Collector, did he cancel it? What, the show, the stream? Oh, I know I was a little late. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will never cancel it. And I will also never forget. But because like the one time I used to do like a late night like show and I'd wait till my daughter went to bed and the whole family was there and I did a late night show and there was a time where I had been sick for like 2 weeks straight, and I was just kind of recouping from that. And then I fell asleep like right before the show was going to go on. I woke up like 4 hours later, and I still live streamed. So I was extremely late, but I still went live. So if it ever happens, I will still go live that day at some point and apologize. But no, I was late because of the mail and everything else. But no, I'm here. Let's see. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. And Marty just became a member. Thank you, Marty. Thank you. And we have something for that. We have something for that. Hold on. We have. And thank you. Thank you for becoming a member. That's awesome. And so I think we're up to 7 members now. That's really cool. I was like, I honestly didn't think we would get this far, like just doing the live streams and talking to you and having a great time with movies. So it's huge, huge passion. So appreciate everything. And then I have to figure out some stuff because I know that it's been very chaotic. The end of last year was very chaotic. I got a video out, but I got to do some more member content. And so I'm gonna do like a poll probably this afternoon and figure out what you guys are really want, because I don't get a lot of good feedback from the member videos. Like, people watch them. I see that the members are watching them, but like nobody really comments or says anything. I get the thumbs up, I get the watch, but then I was like, is this what you guys want? Or is you just like, so I don't know. I don't know. Like, I get different feedback from these other videos, positive and negative. So then it kind of helps me out a little bit more. But yes, we're here. Good morning. Good morning, Brian. Good morning. Let's see. Darren G. Just got the Studio Canal 4K of that film. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good. I have quite a few of them. Like, literally that entire shelf there. All my Fifth Element, and then right under the Leon ones. And so that's a really good transfer, and that's the same transfer that the French company is using too. So all the French transfers, I'm pretty sure, are that same one. I have to double check, but yeah, it's a solid transfer, and it's a little bit, just the colors are a little bit more enhanced. Like, everything about it is just a tad better than the original Sony version. But then I like the menu setup. I like the art on it. Like, there's so many positives. But yeah, I'm glad you got that one. Let's see what else we got. Tom says, "LOL," and that's why you became a member. Nothing better than Fifth Element reference in life. Yes, yes. Um, PD675. Is this the bootleg site where you recommend for TV series that are very hard to find? No, no. I was like, I've done it, but I was like, I don't like to, because I was like, I can't vouch for them. But yes, we have talked about that. Um, I was like, that's the thing that you can Google it. I hate to, it's a gray area, like making bootlegs and stuff. And I just did a like how to make your own custom covers video, and I have been working on that other video. It's more complicated, because it's not just me sitting in front of a camera giving you my opinions. It's, doing other things, the editing, then the going in here and then recording other stuff. Like, it's a whole more complicated thing. But I do have the video on how to make your own, and I'm working on it. Yeah, my mustache is just like all over the place today. And then so then, I have that coming out, and I'm gonna finish working on it today and probably tomorrow. So I know it was supposed to come out last week, but again, it's just a more complicated video. But that's coming out. But there are sites. I mean, people talk about Stinky Tuna. I don't even know what that one is, but I can't vouch for them. I don't buy stuff from them. Showtown Apparel is another one that I've seen when I was looking for stuff. But like I said, I hate to promote them, because I don't, one, they're bootlegs. Two, it's a gray area, and then three, I don't buy from them, so I can't vouch for anything. So you can Google it, you can check it out, but that's pretty much where I'd stand on that issue. But if you have patience, very soon a video is coming. And Marty, yeah, yeah. Let's see. Michael, morning, morning, everyone, morning. Oh, and for that, I had the reference, and so if somebody was going to say everyone, here it is. Here it is. I've been waiting for this one pretty much for like a year now.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean, everyone?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I never told anybody I had it there, but yeah, that was it. You said everyone. I had to play it. Frank, morning, Chris, morning, everyone. Oh, I'm not gonna play it again, but morning, everyone, morning, everyone. Rudely 77, morning. Love the sweatshirt. Let's see that list. Yes, yes. Let me just knock out these first morning, the morning crew here, and then we're almost done, and then we're gonna knock this list out. Never heard of Stinky Tuna, but the name is Money. Yeah, I was like, I have a friend that has no problem getting the bootlegs and all that stuff, and we've had that conversation, and he just kind of has the mentality of, I'm not going to make them, I'm not going to do that, I just want to buy it. And I was like, you do you, and I'll do me. And so like we leave it at that. But then the whole thing is like he's mentioned that website quite a few times. So I was like, that's the only reason it even sticks in my brain. Oh, if you want to see this list, so this is it was the Christmas list. So I had this on the mug. So it's a Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, Batman Returns, Gremlins, A Long Kiss Goodnight, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and Trading Places. So I only had 7 spots, or there's quite a few more. I could easily have done 10 of my favorite Christmas movies that everyone argues about. And so that was my Christmas movie checklist. And this is on the site. It's available in a mug and this hoodie in a couple different colors. But like I said, I had ordered this shirt before Thanksgiving, and it just showed up this morning. So Marty, I enjoyed your custom cover video. Great job. We use Canva at work, and I need that Blu-ray template. Thanks for that. I'll get it. I'll get it over to you. I thought I had pinned it in the thing, and then somebody else actually asked for it too. So I'll drop it in, and I'll send it over to you. I'll probably drop it in the member chat now. So we'll do that. Pete Davidson. Oh my God, Pete. Oh, good morning. We're gonna have a hell of a year. Kicking off the first stream of the year with Pete Davidson. Stinky Tuna is great. Ever date Kim Kardashian? No. Oh man. All right. So we got through all that. And then yeah, this was the custom cover I made yesterday, and I talked about it. I made the video of this. So it came out really well. And yeah, if you want to make custom covers, that is one thing to check out. And then as I was going through, before we really dive into the best of and worst of list, as I was doing my editing of the video, I like to watch. I have a TV here, and so I like to watch my VCR tapes while I'm sitting here because they have this little TV that sits on the desk, and I have the VCR hooked up to it. But that's what I was going to show you. This one here, Deuce Bigelow, does not have a Blu-ray because I went after I watched it. I was like, I haven't seen that in so long. I have this VHS. I got to get the Blu-ray. No, there is no Blu-ray, and so I was just like, oh man, that's another one. So I was like, if I find the DVD at the thrift store, I'll pick it up. But that's something. And then this is something I picked up recently to knock out my Leon the Professional wish list, but I never had the idea that I would get one of these like old BJ's um, security boxes. So it's got all the information. So if you remember going to BJ's, these were always in the shelf. And I had a BJ's membership when I was like 17 or 18, just so I can get movies. And yeah, so this came from BJ's, but I found this on eBay, and I was like, oh, I gotta have it. So adding this to the collection, and now I'm never gonna open it, even though this version of the DVD was on my checklist. So I have it, but the cool thing is it's embossed, and it's a lot of times this older stuff, it gets all smushed down. But because the way it's been saved and packaged, like the embossing is really still there. So yeah, glad to have it. But now I gotta track down a regular version of this because I'm pretty sure it's a super bit. And that was just a very ambitious DVD there. And then I also picked up this. So this was high on my. Oh, there it is. This was high on my list. It wasn't the hardest to find. It wasn't really a holy grail, but they go for like 40, $50 on eBay. So finding this is just a really awesome win. And it's in really good condition. It was still sealed, and there's a tiny like mark in the very bottom of this. And so that was always my frustration. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that there, but that was my frustration with steel books is even brand new, they're very fragile. But I love it, love it. Got that, and I just rewatched Striptease, so I ordered that on Blu-ray. So all that stuff's coming. So that now I got that out of the way. I got my like Saturday, this is what I'm doing kind of thing. But now let's dive into, let's see. You want to do the 10 worst or the 10 best first? Because I have the 10 best that, there's a lot. It took me a long time to narrow this list down, but I think these are my favorite releases of the entire year. And some of them I talked about because some of them did make my best 4K list. But the worst list, I didn't buy them all, and the ones I had bought, I already got rid of because I just didn't like the movies. So we can start with that, and I have the list, and I pulled up the sites for that as well. Thomas DeCarlo, open it. No way, I cannot. Dominique Demand. I got like 3 of them. Nice, nice. There we get that. Michael, Leon the Professional is a movie I've been meaning to get around to watch. Oh, it's my all-time favorite movie. It's a high recommend for me, and I watched it. So, like, Natalie Portman's a year older than me, and so I watched it around the time it came out, and so I was right around her age, so you had that connection with her. But then obviously she had this like horrible life, so I didn't have that kind of connection. But oh man, it was just something that hit me hard back then, and to this day, it's still my all-time favorite movie. I watch it a few times a year, and then collecting every version. A high recommend. I absolutely love it. And then there's two cuts. There's the American version and the international version. I just always watch the international version. It's just a little bit longer, a little bit more scenes, and I love it. I honestly haven't had that trouble with purchasing steelbooks. However, I would not order. Yeah, but I found that one, so it's like one of those. It's like it's been banged around. Whoever bought it didn't care. It ended up in a thrift store. It's one of those things. I would not order from Amazon based on their treatment of the purchases of DVDs and Blu-rays. Yeah, yeah, that's a hard one. I mean, obviously, there's some things that haven't made it around, and like I just imported a whole bunch of stuff, and I know I want to dive into this list. We're gonna get to it, but I just don't import a whole bunch of stuff from Germany and stuff that I couldn't get on like Diabolic or one of those other sites that are a lot better. So I wasn't able to get that, and so I got stuff through the Amazon Germany website, and then I just ordered something, and I was going to go through the Italian Amazon to get it, but then I was like, you know what, screw them, and I found it on eBay, and there's a seller, Rare Waves, I think is the name. They sell on Amazon and they sell through eBay, and they do a lot of those importing. So they do a lot of the stuff that Diabolic does, but through eBay. And so like I've ordered from them a ton. One of my all-time favorite physical media sellers on eBay, and I've gotten a lot of like the imported stuff from him at a good price. So I went that route, but I did get stuck getting the other stuff through Germany. Absolutely. Yes. Which version? Yeah, I do. I recommend the international version. I mean, either one really fine if you're just getting into it, but it's just a little bit extra longer scenes. That's it. I mean, not extra. I mean, there's just stuff that's not in the first one, but it doesn't change. Like I feel like it doesn't change the film, but it adds to the film. Like if that makes sense to you. All right, so let's dive in. Let's dive into the best. So I think, well, nah, screw it. Let's go to the worst. I'm gonna go to the worst. All right, so these are the movies that I watched. I watched them all, and then so I didn't watch a whole ton of stuff. I didn't get to go to the theaters and everything, so I had to wait till most of the stuff came out on physical media, or I was able to watch it online. And so these are the ones that I watched that I didn't get bored and fall asleep or just hate and turn off. So these are the ones that I just was very disappointed by and I didn't like. The very first one here is something I kind of should have known I wasn't going to like it, but I watched it anyway because the wife asked me to. She was super into it, and she was also disappointed. So we're gonna let's see, share this one, share the screen. Okay, very first thing here is Twisters. So this one here, I gave it an honest shot. I don't like disaster films, but I mean, Twister when it first came out and I watched that, I liked it. I thought it was a good film. It's just rewatching it over the years. I don't really care for it. It's not my thing. And any kind of disaster film, they're almost always one and done. So even if I can understand that it's a good film, I just don't really like them. So I really shouldn't have expected that I wasn't going to like this, but I really didn't like it. I was kind of bored with it. And then I don't know about it. It felt like a fan made thing, even though it was on a huge budget. That's exactly how I felt about it. So this one was not high on my list. I really didn't like it, and I'm glad the wife didn't like it, so we don't have to have it or watch it again. Let's see. By the time they reached the gas station in the beginning, I was done. Yeah, I was pretty much done at that point too. I gave the whole thing a shot. I think like towards the very end, I went to go cook dinner and just kind of caught a little bit of it. But yeah, I was out on that one. Thomas says, "No, say it ain't so." I was looking forward to Twisters. You're not the first one to say that though. Yeah, I was like, if you like it, you like it. You can't really argue with what you like, but I'm not a fan. So that makes my number one worst. And I'm not ranking them. So I'm calling them out in the order that I put them down, but I don't like to rank things because it's hard for me to, compare apples to oranges. Like I heard somebody try to rank like their movies and saying like Jaws was the best film ever and like better than Shawshank Redemption. But I was like, I don't see how you can compare those. Are like apples and oranges types movies, so like there's no, I don't, so these same thing. I don't like to do the ranking system. Very rarely will I do it. I probably will, like, if I ever get around to my top 25 of all time. But other than that, like, these are just going to be as I remembered them and as I put them down. So the very next one here is something that I thought it was an okay movie, and I liked the actors in it, but I ended up being very disappointed by it. So it's then I don't think this one I hated, but I'm not a fan. I don't want to watch it again, and not that I felt duped, but like the way it was sold to me, I just kind of expected something a little bit different, and so then also it just kind of was weird. So this one here, I just was not a huge fan. Now it did have some positives, and the positives were in the artwork and the packaging. So there was that. Um, let's see. Let's get rid of that Twisters window. So the next one here is the Challengers. Now this one, I gave it on a shot. I was super excited. I actually bought this one, and it came highly recommended. There was a few people that talked about it. There were some other bigger YouTubers that kind of, as they were doing their mini review or reviewing it, they said it was really decent. So I gave it a shot. I like Zendaya. I like the cover and the fact that there was no big ugly banner on the cover, and the just the artwork with the two guys reflecting in her glasses. It plays into the entire theme of the movie. But this is just a love triangle between all three of them. And at the end of the day, I was really bored with it. So I mean, and then they tried to like break taboos, and it didn't really break taboos. Like we've seen all that stuff before. So I don't know. For me, it didn't really bother me. It just I was bored. And so that one I didn't hate it, but I don't really see any point in revisiting it, and I sold my Blu-ray. Dr. Drew Dude. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Your custom cover video was great. Would you make and sell them for I am lazy? It's such a gray area. I don't want to get into that. And I was like because like once I start doing the custom covers, and if I sell those, then people start asking me to sell the home brews, and that's where like it could be some legal trouble, and I don't want to get into any of that. So sorry, man. I was like, I just can't do it. Like at some point there was something like if I made it and it was extra, like maybe I'd give it away. Because we're doing giveaways once a month starting this year, and a lot of that stuff's through the store. So if I do something like that, it's very possible. But reality is like, I can't. I don't want to get any of that, because then like I get emailed. I just got emailed the other day from some guy in Canada wanting me to make the Star Wars ones, and I was like, I don't want to get into any of that. Let's see. Holland Oats. Ha ha ha. I might watch Challengers today. Not sure what to expect. Yeah, it's not bad, man, but like it's just I think they were trying to break taboos and trying to shake things up, but at the end of the day, I think that it felt I don't know. I don't know. It's like at the end of the day, it felt like it was these modern audience movies, these modern movies feel like the influence was based off of like TV shows and stuff. So like it doesn't feel like there's no cinematic feel about it. And I like low budget films. I like independent films. I like that type of stuff. But this just kind of felt like not even a Saturday afternoon film. Like it just I don't know something about it. It felt like it was a mediocre film that they were putting on this giant pedestal. And so like I got excited about it, and yeah, wasn't for me. Let's see. Marty says, "Yes, I agree with Dr. Drew, dude. I'll buy your custom covers if you take orders." Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's one of those things. Like, I don't know, not saying no, never, but like every time the conversation comes up, that's why I want to make the how to make your own custom movies, Blu-rays, the homebrews, because that's it. I get emailed about the Star Wars ones all the time, and I was like, it's a gray area. I don't want to get involved in that. And like apparently, like Disney has like an army of lawyers that waits for anybody to start making any kind of money off of them, and then so they'll let them do it for a little while, and then they'll hit them with like cease and desist or fines. And I was like, I don't want. I heard horror stories. I don't want anything to do with it. Not at all. All right, so we got that. So those are the first two there. Now, this is one that a lot of people got super excited for, but I honestly, um, at first I wasn't excited, and then they named the one of the actors that was going to be in it, and that person wasn't even in a trailer, and so I was like, oh, I'll check it out. Big fan, and I was like, the movies are pretty much hit or miss. Some are good, some are bad, but this one here confused me because it had so much hype along the way, and I ended up by the end of it, I kind of hated it. So this is something that I don't think I'll rewatch it, and I was not into it. But then they were comparing this movie to like a phenomenal classic, and I still just don't see it. And we're talking about, let's see, where's this? Long legs. So this is something that growing up watching Silence of the Lambs, like this was compared to the Silence of the Lambs of the new generation. And while I thought it was okay, like the whole third act just kind of frustrated me because like it didn't make sense. Like she knew what was going to happen and she allowed it to happen. And then she had to shoot the doll. She never tried to grab the kid and run. She didn't try to stop the dad at the end of the movie. It's just frustrating. And then like the whole Nicolas Cage part, like, it was creepy, don't get me wrong, it played up that, but it was creepy, but I wanted to see, like, more Nicolas Cage, and I was like, if you have a serial killer movie, like, I don't wanna necessarily see, like, the serial killings, you don't need that, you didn't really see all that in Silence of the Lambs, but, you got there was just a little bit more going on, and so, like, I don't know. For me, not a fan, but then I was just completely confused by the community, like, this one here had, like, blanket love, and everyone's like, "It's the best movie ever." Nah, I couldn't do it, man. Couldn't do it. Bro says, "Don't even mention Nintendo. We've been flagged." Wow. Let's see. Um, let's see. We got that. Yeah, so that's one that I couldn't get into, man. I couldn't. I don't know if you guys like that one, but for me, I could not get into long legs. So that one is probably. I kind of hated it. Like there you go. I think I hated that one. Like Challengers was mediocre and boring, but that one I absolutely hated. This one here is another one I thought was absolutely boring. Great cast, but then there's a phenomenal actor in this movie, and there's some decent actors. But then, like the acting in it was not great at all. But I kind of want to, I don't want to hate on it because it's like a powerful movie, and I guess it's based on a true story, and it's kind of something that it deserves more attention, but the acting in it just kind of threw me off. And so we have this movie here, which I mean, I think people should watch it, but it's something that I have no interest in owning and I have no interest in rewatching it. But just for the fact alone that it's based on a true story and stuff that, it's kind of serious. Like people were being murdered and they were being found out in the desert. And so we're talking about Boneyard with Mel Gibson. So this one here, you got Curtis Jackson and I forget who else is in this one, but yeah, the acting, especially like 50 Cent, like I get it. He's not a great actor. I totally get that. But like I just felt like it was worse in this. Like so it's just I don't know if he was ad-libbing his lines or I don't know, whatever. It just the entire thing it did not feel like a cohesive movie. You have Mel Gibson, who's a phenomenal actor, and then he has a very kind of a small part in the whole thing. And overall, it's a great story and something that should be watched or known about. But the movie just kind of it just I don't know, not even left a bad taste in my mouth. I just kind of by the end of it, I just hated it. The acting just pissed me off, and I was not a fan. But you have this chilling crime thriller follows multi-agency effort to identify and apprehend the killer as each of their agendas and methods clash. A tangled web of intrigue casts suspicion in all directions. So I was like, I don't know if it's a true story, but that's what somebody was telling me. So that's kind of what I'm going with. But other than that, yeah, the acting in it just kinda ruined the entire experience for me. Uh, let's see. Thomas says, "I think, I'm thinking of blind buying it. It looks super interesting and it's Nick Cage." Yeah, if you like it, man, if you like, go ahead. I was like, it was just not for me. Oh, this one. Oh, this one here. Speaking of Nick Cage, anyone seen Colors of Space? That one I almost blind bought, like at the end of Best Buy before they were getting rid of their stuff, and I took a picture of it. And I sent it to my friend who's like is super into those types of movies. I was like, "Bro, what do you think of this?" And then he was like, "You're not gonna like it, but I loved it." So then I just from that I just put it back. So it's like I didn't even give it a shot, but like just based on like the cover art and Nicolas Cage, I almost got that one. But yeah, I kind of skipped down on it. Let's see. It is, which ad yeah, so yeah, that's the one. The Colors of Space, I almost did it. And this one, Blue Corner, welcome, brother, welcome. Last good Nick Cage was Pig. So yeah, that's one that there's a Nova Media release, and so I was going to get it for they were doing their Christmas half off sale, but then by the time you get everything, it's you got to try to get more than just one movie from them because it ships from South Korea and then it takes forever. And every time I've ordered from them, it takes over a month to get to me. So that was like right at Christmas time, spending a ton of money. I'm gonna have to drop like another $100 for movies that I might not see till February or March. And so I haven't got it yet. But yeah, Pig is high on my list, but I have my sights on the Nova Media version. We have that. And then Dr. Drew Dude, 50 Cent, you get what you pay for. Yeah, you do. You do. But there's been movies with him in it that weren't bad, but I was like, clearly he didn't have a big role. He didn't have a lot of lines. It's one of those things. So I just kind of expected that. But yeah, I was like, just the dialogue between 50 Cent and anybody was just kind of like, thanks. Let's see. Uh, Michael says, "I've been watching Skeleton Crew. If you like the look of Goonies made, if you took Goonies, made it to a TV show, and then put it in Star Wars universe, so it's much fun to watch." That's what I've heard, and I have not been super into any of the new Star Wars stuff, but I did see the trailers for that, and I was kind of into it. But the thing is, my daughter was not, and she's a huge Star Wars fan. She's 8, the youngest one's 8, and yeah, she just wasn't. So I was like, I don't mind watching it at one point, but like, yeah, she was just like, I don't want to watch it. It's not to her. It wasn't Star Wars. Like to her, Star Wars is Darth Vader, Luke, Obi-Wan. That's the original trilogy. She even loves the prequel trilogy. And like I've talked about this a million times. But we had Force Awakens. I bought it day one, and I ended up getting rid of it. I'm not a fan. I tried. But so I put the digital code on her iTunes. So we had that on iTunes. And so she went through like a couple years where every time she'd see it, she'd click it, but then she'd start watching it, and then right in that first opening act, she'd turn it off, and then she'd go watch the other stuff. And so she's had access to it, and she just doesn't get into it. So any of the new stuff she hasn't been into either. And Andor is good. Yeah, I tried. Buddies of mine tried to get me. We did one of these. Like I opened up like a live stream like this, but I didn't go live, and we hung out back here, and then we watched Andor, and like 3 episodes and 4. I just couldn't get into it. So I ended up talking through the whole thing and kind of pissed them off. They ended up rewatching it. Yeah. Quietly Games. Are you big on Transformers? I don't hate them. I love the Shia LaBeouf ones. Those are my absolute favorites. But I have all of them except for like the new animated one. I don't have that one yet. But yeah, I like them. But I was like, I'm not huge on them. Like it's one of those things like I could love them or I could leave them or take them or leave them kind of thing. Like I have a love for being a kid in the 80s watching the cartoon. And I just remember, that was a good chunk of my Saturday afternoons. But as far as the movies go, two favorites are the Shia LaBeouf ones, and the other ones are okay. Let's see. So then, yeah, so that was the one that I just kind of was very disappointed by. And then obviously, they were selling you on Mel Gibson. So then this is one that the community got really behind this one too, and I don't know if it was like the physical media release, the nostalgia for the original movie, but this one came out and I have been very vocal. I have not been a fan of the 30-year-old sequels. Now some of them have potential, but you have a whole bunch of things like the charm that made the original movies good is a whole combination of stuff you can't really recreate 30 years later, just based on the technology, the whole vibe, the climate of the culture, and people being so offended all the time. Like certain things just can't be done the way they were 30 years ago. And on top of, you have different camera technology. So now this one here, I think like the story kind of adapted that a little bit more. Obviously, it played it specifically 30 years later. And like, I don't know, it's just one of them things that I watched it. I think it's fine. I didn't hate it, but I have no reason to rewatch it. And I just kind of, by the end of it, I was really bored. But so many people were super excited for this. And then even after it came out, there's a lot of love for it is in the physical media community. And so this one here is one that it's another one. I think it confused me because I was like, I don't think we're watching the same movie. And so this one here, if you love it, God bless you. But I don't love it. And it's Beetlejuice. So I tried. and I just ended up being bored by it. There was things that just didn't make sense to me, and then also like we've seen it before, and it's just like that old trope of, it's yeah, for me, I just couldn't get into it all. And then the thing is, I love the actors, I love the people that were involved, but then at the same time, I also feel that there was too many new characters like wedged into this. Like obviously, you got to up the ante and change the game, but it just felt like any of these other bigger budget movies where there's this giant ensemble cast and each one has to have their own amount of screen time to kind of play into the story or introduce them to the story because we're just getting introduced to them for the first time. And so it just kind of felt like, I don't know, it didn't work for me on all of those reasons. Visually I thought it was fine, and one of the few 30-year-old sequels that used practical effects back then, and obviously there was some CGI stuff now, it didn't bother me as much. Now, if they went all practical effects and they even used like an older camera, like a film camera, like they did back then, I think it would work a little bit more for me, I guess. But overall, I thought it was mediocre, and I was kind of bored by the end of it. Let's see. Andor is slow throughout. Yes. Oh, it's somebody else. Blue Corner says it was slow as well at the beginning, but it does get really good around halfway. That's what they were saying too. Like I think I gave up on episode 3, and they were like, "No, by episode 5." And I was like, "I'm already done. Like they've already wasted too much of my time." Still haven't watched that. Not that interested. Yes. It paled. It paled in comparison to the original. Yeah. JJ says, "Yep, Andy. Should Andy Circus really brought his game?" Darth Nerd was never into Beetlejuice either, and even the original from the '80s either. Too much hype pumped into it with no gas. For yeah, this one 100%. Now I like the original, but I grew up with it, and it was one of those things that it was a two play. One, I like all that creepy stuff. I love Tim Burton. I love Michael Keaton, even back then, just a huge fan, and I love the practical effects. But so you have the macabre, it was just a perfect storm of things I love. But then it was a movie that my mom hated. Like my mom was completely against it because there was a ton of movie. Like my mom was not really, but she pretended to be like the perfect church lady. And so there were certain movies that were like, "Oh, we're not watching. That's for the devil." Like she would literally play that up, and I was just like, I've seen some of the stuff you've watched, like, so I don't really believe you. But then so yeah, that was a movie she hated when I was a kid. So I would go to a friend's house and I would watch it, like, anything I could. We were never allowed to watch it in the house. So Beetlejuice, I liked it for all of those reasons. And then my mom hated it and we weren't allowed to watch it. So yeah, I love Beetlejuice. But this one, just couldn't. Yeah, like you said, it was all hype, no gas, 100%. All right, so then close out Beetlejuice. And then this one here is another one that it seems like the audience was divided on this one, and I wasn't into it. I wasn't into it from day one, and then I eventually saw it. And so like anytime there's like a huge hot button movie and people are all over the place or just pretty much love it or hate it, it's like completely divided. I usually stay away from it until all the hype dies down, and then I just give it my thought or I watch it because then you never know. Like I might like it, and all of the hype surrounding it just might be stupid. So this is something that I waited a long time to watch. I finally watched it, and I ended up hating it. Like this one here, I was gonna get because like this is one of the ones that they. Let me share the screen before I get talking about the whole entire thing and it's over. So we have this is one that Alien Romulus. This is one that it was getting the VHS treatment, the VHS release, and I was like, I'll pick this up like a VHS. Hell yeah, I'll take a VHS any day. So I watch it, ended up hating it. And the thing is, I don't think it was necessarily all that bad, but again, it's yes, I think it was bad. I hated it. But it could have been better with just a few tweaks. And that's what I feel about this one. So this is another one, huge budget film. And then I think they try to play it safe because, in the climate of offending people and stuff, but they want to get the most amount of money. This one got pushed out, and this one had a ton of marketing behind it. But this is a movie that at its core, when you look at that first Alien movie, the actors that were in there, and so separate from them, you have an older guy, and then you have the rest of the crew is about the same age, but they look like the age of a crew that would be running a ship or be working on a ship here. These ones, no matter what I did, like they felt like I was watching kids. And I know I'm older, so anybody younger, and I don't know exactly how old these people were, but they had a look to them that were like, I'm like, I can't believe that this is your job. Like I feel like I'm watching like Zathura or something, like a sci-fi teen movie, a sci-fi kid movie, and but now it's rated R and there's aliens killing you. So there was a lot of that. And then yeah, I mean there's just thing after thing was just kind of very frustrating for me. But then um the fact that what's his name, Ian whatever, they brought him back, and he's dead, and I hate that. I absolutely hate that. In real life he passed away. Let's see, what was it? You guys are good at before I do. But Ian Holm in real life, when he passed away, he passed away in 2020. So they brought his likeness back and made him the robot. And yeah, I hate that. Like that, it bothered me with Rogue One. It bothered me anytime they've done that, because at the end of the day, they can now, and I'm just like, it's like goes into that weird conspiracy talk. So I don't like to do that. But like at the end of the day, if there's an actor that didn't want to do a role or didn't want to say something or didn't want to do something, and now they're just kind of digitally doing it, I absolutely hate it. And then also there's no art in that. It's a computer, and it's somebody else deciding what this person's going to do. The reason you love those actors is because they were actors, like their craft, everything about it. You can't recreate that digitally, and the emotional, like you can't even have that connection, even if it's a really good version of CGI. You're not going to be able to take the entire feel and that stuff the actor can do. So it's one of those things. I don't like it. I never will. So all those things, I absolutely hated this film. But I like the first one, and I like Aliens. Like I know a lot of people, um, you know, they have their own things about Aliens. I like the first two 100%, and this one I absolutely hated. Shoot, that's another one. I mean, you might like it. Like, there's been tons of people in the community that freaking love this movie. I hate it. I will never watch it again. And there's movies where I don't like it the first time that I will give a second chance, especially like years later, give a second chance. That is one that I hated it that much. I will never watch it again. Did you grab anything from the Vinegar Syndrome sale? No, I haven't yet. And then somebody texted me this morning. I don't remember who it was. It might have been Thomas. Somebody texted me about the sale this morning. Let's see, who was it? Was it Thomas? Yes. Yes, it was Thomas. Six String Samurai was like 17 bucks. I almost like rolled out of bed and was like, yeah, I'll get that. But I was like, nah. I was like, I just spent a ton of money on all the German imports and all that stuff. I don't need it. Now, there are movies there that I would grab if they go on, because like in a couple hours, the next drop is. So like Going South, I don't know if that was on one of the sale earlier and I missed it, but Going South I would pick up. There was like one other cinematograph one that I would definitely pick up. Um, let's see. So far. Let's see. Yeah, actually, that I did. He texted me about it. I put it in my cart, and then Going South, I also put in my cart. But then I was like, that's another $60. And I was like, I just spent a ton of money on the imports, and so I was like, I'll wait. And then I did. I did pre-order the Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. So like, I'm at my budget. So like, anything from here, it would have to be like a really like huge want or something I'm afraid is going to run out. Like, I really want Going South. I love that film. Mary Steenburgen, Jack Nicholson, and it's the cinematograph. That one, it's $40 right now on sale. But if they knocked it down to like one of those like $17 deals, I would definitely go over my budget for that. And there's like a couple, but like other than that, no, I didn't pick up anything. Let's see. I think there was, let's see, sub labels, cinematograph, because it was all in the cinematograph is where I was like into. Oh, and Virtuosity. I am gonna get that one. I'm gonna pre-order that one. So it's like I only have it on DVD. With all that 90 CGI, I don't know if it's gonna like transfer well with the 4K because it looked bad then, but I still like the movie. It's like definitely a cult film, but I only have it on DVD. So that one I want to get. It might not be a day one, but it's up there. It's high up there. But yeah, cinematograph. Um, I'm interested in Bang the Drum Slowly. That's a good one. I like the film. I just haven't seen it in years, and I'm not a sports guy, so like for being a baseball film, I'm kind of into it. I think that was it. And then Thieves Like Us. That's one I would grab. Interested in that one because that one's I think David Carradine's in that one. But I think that's it. Like that's pretty much it. Like the only things I was really interested in was Thieves Like Us. I would get Bang the Drum Slowly and Going South. Those are the only ones I'm like 100% interested in. And if they go like crazy sale, yeah, I would get them. I would get them for sure. All right, and then the next one here is something that it's another one. I think this one got huge love from the community, and I couldn't see it. Like I watched it with my wife. This is a movie that I grew up loving the originals, and so this is something that even though I wasn't like I didn't hate on the last one, I didn't think it was a perfect film by any means. This one I hate it, and it is. Let's see this one. Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. I absolutely hate this film. I feel that it has two starts. Like it shows you in the beginning what's happening, and you kind of get involved in that, and then all of a sudden it starts off this action scene, and I'm going through the city, and then you have this like weird dynamic between this family, and Paul Rudd's there, and it just kind of feels weird. It doesn't have any like fun and stuff like that. I feel like the original had. Like I feel this had like this modern snarky attitude through the entire film, and then like stretching it, like it just kind of felt weird to me. And then the whole story I thought was silly, and at the end of it, like not silly, I guess the way they put it together, it just kind of, if they put it together differently, it could have played out in a way where I might have liked it. And it's just like you have the whole third act, you have the big bad, coming out. It's just, I think that they could have done just to, if they started it in the very beginning, where instead of having him doing the flashback of where he happened and everybody froze in that whole scene in the beginning, and then instead of jumping into the action scene, you jump into a scene where it's now modern day, somebody's finding that artifact, or you have this scene where he's trying to sell it to Dan Aykroyd. But then that's also another thing, like it's another one where I think there was a lot of people added to this cast, and so you have a lot of screen time per character, and even the new ones. And then I didn't like the whole firebender act. I didn't like that. I was like, I think it was dumb. It might work. It might have like some real lore behind it, but for me, 100%, it took me out of the whole Ghostbuster thing. I Everything about this film, I absolutely hate it. Darren G, I think Ghostbusters '84 was a one-off great film. Yeah, I like too. Like I know a lot of people don't like it, but when I was a kid, I watched them back to back, and I just have that memory of I got to stay up on a school night, and then I got to watch the first one. My mom had no idea the second one was there, so she went to bed, and so the second one started playing right after the first one. So I stayed up and watched the entire thing, and then I went to school the next day. I was extremely tired, but yeah, it's my all-time favorite memory. And my only gripe always was back then was that the Scaleri brothers, when they first pop out in the courtroom, they seemed cartoony. And I understand that that was the whole point of that. They wanted to be more cartoony, tied in with the toys, the cartoon, the whole, all that stuff, and gear it more towards kids. But for me, I liked the film and I loved it back then. And even though I didn't like that Scaleri brothers part and it didn't have the same vibe as the original Ghost, now 100%, every time I watch it, it's part of that charm. So if they had ever changed it now or tried to like update it with modern technology and just switch out the ghosts, like Steven Spielberg did with ET, and he took the guns out and replaced them for walkie talkies, it's something like that would just kind of, it would bother me. I like, it's part of the charm of the film, so I like the second one. But obviously the first one is absolutely amazing. So yeah, and I was like the last one, I didn't hate it, but all they got you in the feels, like the whole emotional connection to that movie. So it's Harold Ramis. It just kind of yeah, that's why I liked it. If you didn't have the connection to the first two movies, and you didn't have the whole emotional connection with Harold Ramis, I'm not a fan of Afterlife at that point. Like other than that, I think it's okay. But the first one, 100% is a perfect film, I think. Let's see. Let's see. Thomas says, $18 made me bite. We shall see how it is. The premise is bananas. Oh, what I miss? The samurai, six string samurai. Yeah. Quietly Games, Going South, Last Embrace, and Little Darlings. Little Darlings is decent. I like that one. That's a real good one. Last Embrace, I thought about picking that one up because I think that one already was on the sale earlier, and so that one was pretty cheap, I thought. But Little Darlings is really good. That was a good blind buy for the year. That actually was close to making this list of my 10 favorites. But yeah, Going South, 100% need to get that one. Got my set in today. Thanks for the recommendation. No problem, brother. No problem. Brent Madison says, really liked Thieves Like Us, 4K and Going South 4K from Cinematograph, but hated the Soul Touch Blu-ray from that line. Was so boring and high hopes for that one. Okay, well, yeah, it's like thanks for that because I'll stay away from that one. But yeah, 100%. I love Going South. Thieves Like Us, I've never seen it, so I was like, that's gonna be a huge blind buy. But I love Going South, and so I haven't pulled the trigger yet, and I don't shop on Vinegar Syndrome all that much. But yeah, that's one I would. If anybody notices that goes cheaper than the $40, let me know because I'll pull the trigger. We got that. Let's see. All right. So yeah, so that's one that honestly I hated it, and the even the package design I just wasn't really into it. And again, going back to Ghostbusters, the one thing that would have really fixed a lot of it for me, I mean, obviously the whole weird family dynamic they were going on, everybody kind of was snarky, and then the older girl there was just kind of, or the girl was I liked her in the first one, Afterlife, where she just had the dad jokes and it played off a little bit more fun. And then this one, she just had a chip on her shoulder. It just kind of was weird. I didn't like it, the whole vibe from it. But if you take the big bad at the end of the movie and you had him, like they catch him in the beginning and they put him in the reactor in the beginning, and then that was the whole plan is to then get out. Like, and you have that in the very beginning, but you have them kind of like maybe he wants to get trapped or something. Like there's something about it. He wants to, and then you have it in the very beginning, but no, we see this whole first act of like what happened in the 1800s, and then magically, I don't know, not a fan. Just that third act. Yeah, I wanted the big bad more of the film. That's what I wanted, and we had all these actors, all these characters, and then the whole like as big as New York City is, that entire film felt small. So you have like uh, um, the Zetamore lab that he had built, like even that kind of felt small. And like I don't understand how you have this in giant, amazing city, and so many like rom coms filmed in New York City felt way bigger than that film did. It felt like literally small movie sets, and that was the entire thing. And even older movies that are filmed 100% on a soundstage, I think a lot of those felt bigger than some of the scenes in this movie. So that's another thing. It's a modern trope too. It's not just stuck with Ghostbusters. There's been a lot of modern films that I feel at the end of the day feel a lot smaller than they actually really should be or really are. So then the next one that I didn't like, this is one, and it's another one I absolutely hated, and I almost gave up on it, but I went through the entire movie, and I'm a sucker for Ryan Reynolds, so I'll watch anything that he's in. And so this one here, I knew from the trailer I was not gonna like it, but I watched it anyway because Ryan Reynolds, and I ended up hating this film. And it's If, and it's that one about the imaginary friends and the kids. Like it's whatever. If you like the movie, it's whatever, and it's for families and kids. Like my kid actually got up and left the room. She was that bored. My wife hated it. I hated it. And then this is one that as I was watching it, all I kept thinking of was like how good Drop Dead Fred was, and so that's one I love, and that's one of the few Vinegar Syndrome titles I do own. And so yeah, Drop Dead Fred is just an all-time favorite, but it's the same idea. But I think they did it a million. Oh, not the same. It's a similar idea. And so you have the imaginary friend, and that's an amazing film. This I was absolutely bored with it. Tom says, and nothing about Frozen Dead Pirate sucked. Yeah. Yeah, I can't do it. Brian says the ghost girlfriend was weird too. Yeah. Like, yeah, there's just another character, and then it wasn't even like, yeah, it was weird, but then they didn't even like play it out. Like, I don't know if they were trying to break taboos, like you can date ghosts or something. I don't understand, but it was like it was so vague. They were like trying to like sprinkle it in, but then they didn't. So it's just like have some balls and do it. Like either do it or don't do it. Like come on. But yeah, there was no point to it. Like there was like all the set, there was all set up, and again, it's another one. It's all set up, no gas. Uh, for the win, for the win. I agree. The movie felt contained and restricted. The Ghostbusters Frozen Empire movie did not like. Yeah, I did not like it either. So yeah, and I love the first one. I love the second one, but yeah, the huge I don't know. It just seemed like there was a lot of love in the community. I saw a lot of people talking about it, people showing off their discs, and I'm like, yeah, good for you. Now this one here is something that honestly, I didn't expect to like it at all. So I was like, it didn't disappoint me on that. So I didn't have high hopes for this, but this is one that I'm shocked just even reading like people talking about this movie. And it just kind of feels like it's either bots or shills. And so it's just like, there's no way that, that those are real like thoughts. So let's see, let's go to this one. And so we're talking about, let's see, load it up. XLF, Beverly Hills Cop 4. This is something, the streaming movie, I was super disappointed by it. I like the actors in it. I mean, obviously the ones from the original, other than Eddie Murphy, are extremely old now. And so that all of it clearly takes me out of the film. I'm glad they got back together. I'm glad they had a good time, but I hated this film. They spent too much time on the weird dynamic between Eddie Murphy and his daughter, and then so there was obviously some animosity between them. But they carried that conversation for a good chunk of the film. Like it wasn't even just like a one and done. Like all right, I'm mad at you. This is what you did, but hey, you know what? We got to work together. I don't want to work with you, kind of thing, and then just play out the film, and then maybe at the end, kind of resolve their issues. But no, they carried that conversation and the fighting through many scenes of the film. But then, like, other than I thought Eddie Murphy was fine in it, but like this is another one. Like a lot of the acting wasn't that great. You had a lot of the older actors that probably hadn't done anything in a long time, and this felt exactly what it was. It felt like a cash grab on a streaming service for people that were trying to get us to watch it. And so yeah, I did not like this film. Did not like it. And then I was reading the comments on it through IMDb, and they were saying that this was a million times better than the third one. I think the third one's fine. I don't love it. I definitely think it's the weaker one of the bunch. I've said it multiple times. I like all three. The first two are amazing. The third one is okay. And I watch the first two at least once a year. The third one, it gets watched like every couple years or so. So it definitely is not high up on my list. But the fact that even Eddie Murphy says he hates it and tons of people just blanketly say they hate it, the hype for this film was saying how crappy the third one was. Like that was the entire everything I saw talking about this, that conversation got brought back to how bad the third one was. I thought this was horrible, and the third one I thought was at least watchable. And if not for anything, you have a cameo from George Lucas in the third one. So there's that. But yeah, this is something I'm not a fan. Let's see. Yeah, 100%, 100% Blue Corner. Beverly Hills Cop 3 wasn't great, but still take it over XLF. 100%. And like that was the reverse sentiment. Like the everybody was, so it has to be like shills or bots. Like that's all I ever heard. So yeah, that one I absolutely hate it. But going in, I knew I wasn't gonna like it. Like I had, not even just apprehension. I was just like, I watched it out of morbid curiosity and just ended up hating it. And then like halfway through it, like I wouldn't shut up. My wife was yelling at me to shut up so she could watch the film. But then like within a few minutes, she was going on how crappy it was because like she doesn't like movies like I do. But the thing is with like the Beverly Hills Cop movies, those are one of her like in her top few movies that she loves and she'll rewatch anytime. And so yeah, she was definitely after yelling at me, she was going on that one. Uh, Thomas says, I remember liking the Beverly Hills Cop sequel, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. So that says something in itself. Okay. Okay. Three is better by far. I actually love three. It's nostalgia for me. Yeah, I was like, I don't hate it. I never did. And so like, and to learn that Eddie Murphy hated it, and like it was just like notoriously hated all around. I was like, how? Like, it's fine. And it's like, I mean, I obviously growing up as a kid watching this stuff on TV, I just couldn't get enough of it. And so it was just one of those things. I did enjoy that one. I went into Beverly Hills Cop, Axel, thinking I wasn't going to like it, and I was pleasantly surprised that I enjoyed it. Oh, okay, all right. Well, I was like, I mean, obviously, everybody to each their own, to each their own. But I was like, I couldn't get into that one. I'm glad. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad there are people like it, but just all that sentiment that it was like better than the third one. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And then the last movie on my worst off list was this. And this is something that let's see. Let's see, get rid of this screen. So this is something that 100% I didn't like the third one. But I think this one actually is better than the third one, but I still didn't like this film at the end of the day. For me, the first two films are great. The first one is amazing. We're talking about Bad Boys. So Bad Boys Ride or Die. Um, all in all, I honestly think it was better than the third one. I don't really remember much of it, but I remember not liking the third one, and also feeling like maybe Martin Lawrence hadn't acted in a while because it just seemed like he was off. It seemed like everything about him, the whole his entire character in that movie, I know he was playing a little bit different than he had in the other movies, but the whole thing just felt like almost like he was nervous on camera kind of thing. And that's how I felt about it. But then this one here, I thought that was all cleared up. I think the acting was all okay for what it is. It's just a simple popcorn flick. But overall, I hated it. I have no reason to revisit it. I love the first two, and that's where I'm going to stay with that one. Yeah, absolutely hated that. Thomas says, I'm with you. Bad Boys 1 and 2 is where it ends for me. Yeah. And I was like, and even then, I remember when 2 came out, it was such a long time, like for the sequel. And I was like, even then, I was just kind of like a little bit excited. But then I was like, man, it's been a while. I was like, I don't know if it's going to be as good. But then it wasn't like a common trope. So there was excitement. So going to see it in the theater, I ended up having a really good time. And then as soon as it came out on DVD, I bought it day one. Like that was definitely a day one that I remember. And so Bad Boys 2, I enjoyed it, but even then, like that was the sentiment, was like most people were saying that it wasn't as good as the first one. And while I agree, I still love it. I think it's great and it's one of my favorites. But the first one I think is great. I think it's amazing. Blue Corner says, okay, them's fighting words. I love all the Bad Boys movies. You you love them, you enjoy them. God bless you. Bright says, I don't even acknowledge 3 and 4's existence. Yeah, it's like I was like, I know that, like, I figured people would like the Bad Boys one. So I was like, that one didn't surprise me that people like it, but that's one that just wasn't for me at all. Let's see, close that out. Close this out. Okay, so there's that. So that was my top 10. Those were my 10 worst films of the year, things that I hated, things I have or disappointed by, and I never watch again. But this one right here, I was like, out of all of them, I might watch the Ghostbuster one again at some point just because, but I don't see myself ever doing it anytime soon. But, and again, in no particular order, these are all the ones that were released this year. These are my 10 favorite movies of the entire year. And some of them, I had a different list for my 10 favorite 4Ks of the year. And I was like, that was just because those are great 4Ks, great upgrades, and whatever. I had other reasons for liking it. But these are my favorite films that got released this year. And maybe the maybe the disc wasn't a reference disc or whatever, but and then there's obviously some Blu-rays in here. So let's see. I'm not going to do. I don't have an order, but I just want to knock them out in a certain way. So this one here, Neverending Story. I did the whole review on it, the unboxing. All-time favorite, like childhood fantasy film. It like definitely makes my top 5. It's probably not my number 1, but it makes my top 5 easy day. Love this. Love this release. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, this one here when it came out. knocked my socks off. I didn't know it was coming out. Like, so just the whole announcement just kind of, I was in shock. So Brian texted me, a friend in Australia, Eric, he texted me right away and was like, "Man, this is coming out." So like, I rolled out of bed, ordered this one. I wasn't even quite awake. I've told that story a few times. Like, I really was kind of groggy and just kind of ordering this. And man, just like, again, the entire announcement, everything just knocked me for a loop. That one, loved it. The next one here is something that I've upgraded along the way the entire time. I've had every version of this movie that was out. I saw this in theaters, and it's one of my favorites. So I'm a huge Guillermo del Toro fan. So I love this. I love this release. But technically, I mean, it's like the first time on 4K, but this one came out. So I was like, people can argue that some of this stuff was out before, but this version of it came out this year or last year, and so this is one of my favorites from the year. And I think the 4K on this is amazing. So this is definitely high up on the list. I'd have to double check for sound wise, picture wise, 100%. I would call this a reference disc, but sound, I have to double check, and it's one of those things that when I got to watch it, it was like really late at night, so I didn't get the surround sound cranked on it, and I don't even think I did a review on this. So this is one that maybe it's going to hit my reference list of movies. The next one here, let's see. This is actually how I found Brian's channel, and we started, we became friends over this movie. So this is something that I absolutely love. I had this on DVD, but he made a video that it was like running out of, it was out of print already. Like, it just got released and they already sold out of it. And it's since had, come back in stock. But I had to get it, and without that video, like, I didn't think, I had some FOMO. I had to hurry up and get it, and it was Money Talks. So this is a great release. Absolutely love it. So they have the Warner Brother or Warner Archive, Money Talks, and I'm pretty sure that they've come back in stock now. But yeah, at the time when he made that video, they were out of stock. I did get one, and I didn't overpay for it, but it took like a solid few weeks to get to me. And yeah, this is something I was like, I was glad I got it. One of my favorites, and an enjoyable Blu-ray presentation. And now this is something that I don't think it makes, like, it's a good solid 4K. I think it's a beautiful picture. I don't think it makes like a reference disc by any means. So that's why I didn't make my top 10 favorite 4Ks of the year. But this is one of my favorite releases of the year. And we're talking about Blazing Saddles. One of my favorite releases. One, I like the fact that they did some different artwork there. That was pleasant. I think that the fact that there was options, there was steelbook options. I think there was even like a thicker premium box. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is something that nobody thought was going to get released because of the sensitivity of the climate of everything that's going on in like culture today. That this is something that everyone thought was going to get buried, and we were never going to see it again. So yeah, that's something 100% that one, I was shocked that it got announced, like I think everybody else, but this one, a very pleasant 4K. Really enjoyed this pickup. Let's see. I think I'm a little bit behind on the chat here. So 80s hates movies. Got it. Yes. You got it. You nailed it. So I watched 7 4K. I wasn't impressed at all with the visuals. I was like, in reality, is that movie is a darker tone movie, so I kind of expect that. But like, in the muted tones, I was like, it could be the 4K. I haven't watched mine yet. I haven't got it yet. It is on pre-order. It hasn't shipped yet, and so that one, I'm not too thrilled with the packaging. I like the fact that there were some options, but originally we were getting 7 in that big premium edition box set, but apparently Fincher didn't like that, and so it was like he put a kibosh to it, from what I've heard, and so that didn't come out. And then we got the steelbook, and then we got this, like, I guess it's like a digipack. It folds open in a weird way. So I haven't got mine yet. I'm still looking forward to it. So I was like, I'll do that. But I did always expect that with the muted tones of the entire film, that very, very likely, even if your contrast is off by a touch on your TV, that one could maybe have that like dull look to it. So I'll give it a whirl myself. I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, I was like, I kind of expect that that's one that wasn't going to have huge like, it wasn't going to be a reference disc at all. But then with the conversation, when I think he put it out, there was an interview being done about that and why it was being delayed. And that conversation, it kind of felt like it slipped out that the way the film was, it felt like there was going to be a lot of heavy film grain. And so they had to do some things to make that go away. Like, it felt like there was going to be something funny with it. So yeah, I expect that one's going to be not divided, but I expect that one's not going to make anyone's top favorite films or favorite 4Ks. I don't think it's going to make that list at all. I hope they do a standard on Neverending Story. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so too because I was like, I would pick it up. I collect them all, but yeah, I was like, obviously a lot of people wanted to get that version, but that was my only gripe about it, and it has been on any of the companies that do a big giant premium set. You know, obviously it's forcing people into buying that if that's what they really want, but just a standard version should be released all around for everything. And I understand that we're in a collector's market now, so it might not make sense for the studio, so it might be that or nothing. But just the simple like steelbook only stuff is starting to really frustrate me. And so I could totally understand that. Now, obviously, that version was for me, but even so, I know that I've talked to quite a few of guys, like people that did buy it, didn't like all the extra stuff and kind of was only into the discs, and so they felt like it was way overpriced for what they got. But like I said, I collect all the stuff that's in there, and even though it's replicas, I still think it's really cool. And so for me, that was way better than like getting the stickers in the demolition set. The next one here that I really loved was Risky Business. I think this was just a pretty. This one, maybe I'm wrong. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure this one came out this year. Like now that I'm thinking about it, I just because like I think I watched it day one. Let's see, Blue Corner. I always say Blu-ray.com. Let's see. Risky. Yeah, it came out in July. Okay, double check. I don't know why. For some reason, I was like, maybe this one came out in 2023. But yeah, Risky Business. I thought was a great 4K, a great presentation. I loved having this. This is another one that I only had it on the VHS, so this was a huge upgrade for me either way. I love the film. It's something I love to revisit at least once a year. But and when the memory of watching this when I was a kid, like I think this, and it's probably why I never upgraded along the way. And it's because when I watched it, like I owned that tape, and so yeah, Risky Business, great film, and love the presentation, love the surround sound. Now, this is one that it had a weird thing, and I guess like it's a problem with certain players, I guess. But my TV has Dolby Vision Dark and Dolby Vision Light, and I know not everybody has that feature. On Dolby Vision Light, this is one that there was different scenes, and they're very subtle in the VCR tape, but I was able to catch them. So there's different lighting. So from scene to scene or from person to person in the same scene, there's different lighting. And on Dolby Vision Light, it was like flashes. Like it felt like somebody was like doing a strobe. Like it went from like the picture you're into, and then it was just like super bright and then super dark. And it happened quite a bit in different scenes. And then so I was like, I thought maybe there was something wrong with the transfer. And then I stopped the movie right away. And then I watched a bunch of reviews, and like everyone was saying how great it was and how amazing, and nobody said anything about that. And then I switched it over to Dolby Vision Dark, and then I didn't have that problem. And so then I was reading up, like apparently, like some, and I was watching it on my Panasonic, but then some people were saying like certain Dolby Vision movies, like transfers, might have that issue on the Panasonic. So honestly, this is something I've never watched on my Sony. But now that I say that, I might do that this afternoon. But yeah, that's something that yeah, it stood out to me at first, but then it was all corrected on the Dolby Vision Dark. The next one here, I did a full review on this. This was a blind buy for me. Absolutely love the film, and we're talking about Bound. So that was a nice surprise. Love this release for the year and another Criterion. And I'm not like the biggest Criterion guy, but I have a good, amount of them. And I have some of my favorites. Like I have The Princess Bride, so that's clearly like not your typical, Criterion type movie. But this one here, I freaking loved it. And it's like it's got the noir vibe. It's Jennifer Tilly, Joe Pantaleone's in this one, and I never say his name right, but this was a top-notch movie. Great 4K. Great 4K. Let's see. Thomas says Crimson Peak, such a good atmosphere movie. Yeah, 100%. I love the visuals in this one. There you go. DTSX is good on Crimson Peak too. Yeah, so I kind of felt it would be, but I know when I got to watch it, like it was just super late at night, and so the sound was way down. So yeah, I might revisit that one today too. JJ the Collector, Brian's the goat. Yeah, 100%. Uh, Darren G, love Blazing Saddles. They don't make them like that anymore. No, they don't. No, they don't. Yeah, I have a few movies in my collection like that that they don't make anymore. I'll have to show them off one day because there's a few of them that, not that I'm afraid of like talking about it or saying, I just don't want to be clipped out in like a weird way or like getting like something out of context. So it's like I'm not just gonna like rattle off some titles. So I've got some things in my collection that they would, one, you're not allowed to say these words anymore. But then two, like it offends everybody. But the people that made it are the people that wrote it, and it's like one of those things. The people that acted in it were the people that wrote it. So it's just one of those things. Like, why are you going to hate on it? It's the same thing. So I love Blazing Saddles. They don't make them like they used to, and yeah, it's a great one. Thomas says, I can't remember who it was last week asking about the Hero set 80s background, but I just want to say it's still available via Orbit and it's well worth it. Oh, yeah, that is something that I know when I checked, it wasn't available on imprint, but yeah, Orbit, definitely snap it up. Snap it up. It's a great, great set. Thomas says, "As you collect Criterion, you're officially in the cult. I am too. Yeah, I have like the whole. Let's see back here. So right there, where the Bruce Lee set is, the yellow one, that entire row all the way back. So three sections, and each section holds about 25 in that range discs, I think. But then the Criterions are thicker, so just imagine maybe 20 on a shelf. So I've got at least 60 titles. So, and maybe I'll go through them one day. I know there's a few of them over there that I still haven't watched, but they're sitting over there just because I'll get to them eventually. So maybe I'll knock those out, and then I'll do like an entire Criterion collection, and give my thoughts on each one, like a mini review. But because it's such a big video, maybe not that much of a mini review. Uh, yeah, I guess I'm in the cult. Darth Nerd 80s. I wanted to ask you, not sure if you're aware, but what do you think of Paramount only releasing 4K sets of their movies now, not separate Blu-ray versions? Well, that's one of those things that I totally get, that people still buy DVDs in 2025. Like, you can still go to Walmart right now and buy a DVD. So there's that conversation. But not long after DVD was introduced, within a few years, Blu-ray or VHS went away. And so it's just one of those things. Like, if that's the new standard and this is the new format, then I'm all for it. But I was like, I understand if you don't have all the new equipment, you don't have a big 4K TV, you don't have, you don't want to make the investment. But then when they always go to that route, generally the stuff starts to become cheaper. Like, I was in the store the other day, I was in Walmart the other day, and there was like I don't think it was like the best brand, obviously not that, but there was like a huge 4K television for under $500, and I was like, I think I paid like $500 for this 32-inch over here, like years ago. So it's one of those, like, yeah, it's like you can get some stuff at a good price now. But I think that I that's my opinion on it. Is like, it kind of sucks for some people if you're just a Blu-ray only. And there's people that I've talked to, a lot of them, that are frustrated with the 4K format, and depending on maybe how the TV setting or just bad experiences, and they're done with it. And so that right there could be really frustrating for people and could cause people to go to the streaming route. So I get there's like a double-edged sword kind of thing there. For me, I'm all into it. It doesn't matter. I got the 4K stuff. I'm going to buy the 4K disc in general. If there's if the 4K comes out and that's all there is, I'm happy with it. But if a Blu-ray comes out and then a few months later or within a year a 4K comes out of the same movie, that just pisses me off. So I would rather just buy the best one possible and that be the only option. If they come out at the exact same time and I don't have the film at all, 100% I'm getting the 4K. 100%. So that's just my thought on it. But I know that there's a lot of people that, just in my comments alone, talking about how they're done with 4K and then explaining their bad experiences. And so I get people are going to be upset by it. The next one of my favorite releases of the year, because it's something that I had wanted for a Blu-ray for a long time. It was stuck on DVD, but then I had the original, like a pressed older DVD. But I think like all the newer ones you can get, and this ended up being like, this isn't, but I think that was a Warner Archive title, and it was an MOD disc, and it was a burned MOD disc, and so I was like, I don't know if they're good or they're bad, but if I ever decide I want to get rid of it or sell it, like the thrift store you can donate it there, but like the bookstore that takes things in, they treat it like you burned it. And I was like, no, this is an official release from Warner Brothers. That's why it's in a snapper case. Or I don't know if that was in a snapper case, but yeah, they had burned MOD discs for the DVD, so huge upgrade all around. And it is Death to Smoochie. Love this film, one of my all-time favorites, underrated. And then when they did this, this was a Shout thing, so you have the interior artwork here. One of my favorite releases of the year, and a high recommend. And I don't collect all the Shout movies. I've got a good number of them, but like it's I like the fact that they're numbered, but reality is there's a ton of movies in that collection that I'm never going to own. But yeah, so this was a huge thing for me, and I know people do try to collect all these. So it's one of those things that I kind of suspect that at some point this is going to go out of print if it's not already. But yeah, this was a day one purchase. Absolutely love it. High recommend, and one of my favorite releases of the year. Then this one here was a surprise, and it's something that I wasn't clamoring for it. I didn't have it in the collection at all. I saw it way back when, like in the early 2000s when this came out. I remember renting it, and it's a simple plan. So this was a huge, it wasn't a blind buy, but this was a huge release for me because I didn't have it in the collection at all. But then rewatching it, it felt kind of like a blind buy because like I remembered it. I remembered the whole plane bit. I remembered the brothers. I remember some of the murder, but like the entire story, like it felt like I was watching with fresh eyes. Like there's the whole scene. It takes place in the winter, but then there's the whole scene where they're watching the ball drop for New Year's Eve. So then it kind of falls into that time of the year. And yeah, great film, great release, amazing 4K, and a simple plan. Just revisiting it after like something like 20 years is probably the last time I saw this. This was a great release for the year. See, Brent says Peeping Tom 4K also great 4K this year. Okay, I'll have to check that one out. I haven't checked that one out yet. Yeah, there's so many great things that were released. I mean, and even my list of 10, like I didn't buy everything obviously, but I, I really did try. But then even my list, I think I had like 20 releases and I had to whittle this down to 10. And so I was just like, oh man. What do we got? Criterion is without a doubt the movie snob label. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's how I feel like when I get there. And so like I have Wally, I have Princess Bride, but I have Repo Man. I have some more of the stuff like the cult favorites, but then I have some of those like film snob type movies. I have quite a bit of those. But yeah, when I have met people in real life, they're like, I like Criterion. I'm like, it has the same, it comes off as the same vibe of like, I'm a vegan. Like it's just like, okay, cool. It just has a weird vibe. Like it's almost like when people are more proud of their Criterion collection than anyone else. Like I get it definitely when you meet, like, because I met a few of them like shopping for Criterions in Barnes and Noble, and when you meet them in real life, it is kind of like a weird interaction. It really is, especially if like you're grabbing a film that they really love. Like then they feel like they got to talk to you, but then it's like really awkward too. Yeah, yeah, it's one of those things. Thomas says, "Bro, I haven't even thought about Death to Smoochie in years. Yeah, it's a great one. High recommend, and I would say I would snap that shout Blu-ray up soon. Uh, and now I'm looking for it. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, brother. No problem. Now, this is something that like I kind of forgot that it came out last year because I bought it way back when, and I don't remember when I bought it. So I pre-ordered it like really early, and then I finally got it, and it's a great release. One of my favorites, favorite childhood movie. I've talked about it quite a few times, but this was for last year, top notch, and so it is this one. So Master Universe, and then the other one, like the Mario one, was like a close. Like so that one, if I did like 11 of my favorite, like Mario would be up there too. Like Mario would have been in this pile too. It's that close, but. The Master of the Universe, absolutely love this. Love it from my childhood, but I love the release. I love the presentation of this entire thing. And then this was just a Blu-ray. So I was like, but for me, 100%, I absolutely love the artwork on here. And had the Blu-ray already, the American version, but I never liked that art, and that's one of the things that kind of got me stuck into trying to do the custom covers. But then when I did the custom cover, that was the artwork that I put on it. So that was what I was doing anyway, and I was like, so it was a no-brainer. One, I get the premium package, which I'm a sucker for. I get the movie, and all around, this is one of my favorite releases of the entire year. And if I was to rank them out of the pile that I have here, this one and Crimson Peak probably would fight for like the number one spot. But I don't rank them because they're all different movies. You can't. I don't think you could really honestly. I mean, people do it, but I was like, me personally, I don't think I could honestly rank these because they're all so different. But then this one here, this is I think this is the last one. So this is number 10. This was my absolute favorite of the year, and it's Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, it makes my top 5 favorite slasher films of all time. Not my number one because Halloween still is my number one, but this is probably a solid number 2, seriously. And then that right there. Love that artwork. Love the premium package. I think the 4K presentation on this is top notch. The fact that I got number 220 out of that, that's super awesome. Now, the French version that I accidentally bought is a much higher number, but I kept it because of the different artwork on the steelbook. So it's something pretty cool. Other than that, yeah, this is probably, it's high up there on my favorites of the year. And this was just like, not that I was surprised that it came out, but it's another one. When they announced it, like I was very excited. Like this was 100% of day one, like huge excitement for this one. It wasn't like the surprise of the year was the Master of the Universe, Never Ending Story, and any in this pile? No, because I didn't know that was coming out. Yeah, and then Never Ending Story and Nightmare on Elm Street are probably like and Master Universe probably and Mario. Super Mario those are my biggest surprises of the entire year. Got that. Let's see. What do we got? What do we have? Let's see. Nettle Blundo. Good day, people. Give a like to 80s Mate. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let's see. What do we got? Blue says the Criterion doesn't nothing special, and people love them. Another label release a movie without a slipcover, and there's drama throughout the world over it. Yeah, I was like, that's the thing. I like the Criterion. I like the presentation. I like the uniformity of it. Like they all start up. It's got the Criterion vibe. Like I like that about it. I like the thicker. I think they're called Scanova cases. Whatever the thicker cases they use, I like that. But then I have gripes about it. I'm not a huge like Criterion fanboy. Like I'm an unapologetic imprint fanboy. Like 100%. Like even if something I would have been nitpicky about it, I would probably defend them. That's how much of a fanboy I am. But like Criterion, I think they're good. I enjoy them. I like Arrow a lot better. But yeah, I don't think they can do no wrong. Not one of those things. I just have a lot of titles because easier access, the 50% off sale, going to Barnes and Noble, stocking up. But I like Second Sight quite a bit more than I like the Criterion. But then at the same time, I also in the snobbery of me, I like the premium versions of Second Sight. So like there's been versions, standard versions I just didn't get. But yeah, the people that this doesn't have a slipcover, what are you talking about? And then somebody was trying to tell me that like one of the companies, I don't know if it was Warner Brothers, was like dumping slipcovers altogether. And for me, it doesn't matter. Like a standard release, I don't, like I've said before, the slipcovers, they go in a box. The only thing I keep the slipcovers on are the premium sets. And because they stay in this room and then my kids don't touch them. Like it's one of those things. The reason I got rid of the slipcovers in the first place is the wear and tear just on the shelves. Like they were getting way destroyed. It wasn't worth it for me. It was more hassle than it was worth. And then I don't think they look all that great, especially when you have most of the time it's the exact same art. So I even throw slipcovers or dust covers away from my books. I throw those away. So I've never liked any of that stuff. Let's see. I got the Masters Umbrella Set 2. Glad it was region free when they said it wouldn't be. Yeah, I was like, it didn't matter for me. I had the region free player. So as soon as I got that email, I know a lot of people canceled. But even if I didn't have the region free player, That's a movie that, and I did it on like lesser movies. So like 100%, I would have kept my pre-order because I love the movie so much and I love the look of it. That movie would have forced me to buy a region free player, 100%. See, Tom says, when you meet someone who asks if you've seen the Seventh Seal, you know you're in for an annoying evening. Uh, yeah. Catalog slips, yeah, who cares? Don't keep them either. Yeah, I think they're a waste. I think they're a waste. They're not that worth it for me. 88 films, yeah, I don't have any 88 films, but there's one I found on eBay, one I'd like to get into because the slipcover art. But then I know another company recently put it out, and so they had I saw that's how I saw the artwork. But then when I was like looking for a cheaper version on eBay, I came across the 88 films, and so I think I'm gonna grab that one. And it was oh, it was Hitcher because I still need to watch Hitcher and I need to get that 4K. But I was like, I kind of been putting it off for like the longest time, and so there was one that I thought I saw, but I don't think I've ever seen the Hitcher. And so then I got to get that. So I was looking for it. And so when I went to Google, like, see if they had them, maybe on eBay, maybe I get one cheap. I was looking, there was this other movie called like Hitcher something. It's like, and so then 88 Films had put it out, and I was like, oh, I got to get that. And it was like, I think like 20 bucks. So I ordered it, and it just has a cool, artwork. It looks like just a schlocky slasher film, but it was just something fun. And so for like 20 bucks, I was like, I was all in. It has the slip box and the nice artwork, and it's an 88 film. So that'll be my first. And then I was going to get the American Pie 4K, and I might still try to get it, but I love the film. But I had just finally upgraded to Blu-ray this year on the all. I got the like the 4-pack American Pie stuff because I like the film, but I'm not like the biggest American Pie guy. And I was like, I had just finally, after all these years, finally got the Blu-ray. I didn't think I needed to jump to that 4K, but I kind of want that 88 film set, and I'm afraid it's going to go out of it's going to go out of print, and I'm never going to have it. Yeah, we got that. Let's see. Thomas says Rutger is awesome in Hitcher. Yeah, I mean it's such a like a cult classic fan favorite. Like I feel like I completely missed out, and I was like as I was like watching the trailer and stuff because it's something I honestly thought I had saw like way back when, and just one of those things like it might have been on TV and I saw part of it, or maybe something about it was like extremely familiar. But then like I watched the trailer and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen this movie. So yeah, I never picked it up. I haven't picked it up yet. I got to dive into that. And so it's one of those things that I kind of want that bigger set, but at the same time, it's like 60 bucks. And I think like I can get it for like 60 bucks, and that's even with shipping and all that. And so it's like, that's $60. And if I really don't love the film, like, what am I going to do with it? And it's like, I was like, obviously I could sell it and do whatever, but I was like, it's just kind of hard to part with that money, especially like right now, like this month, 100%, like I'm at my budget because the Bewitched and Dreamy, I Dream of Jeannie sets, like all in, and you get free international shipping if you spend over 240 or $250 through imprint. So those sets together were 300 bucks. So I got free shipping on that. But then while I was there, they were also doing their Christmas sale, and so there or like Boxing Day sale. And so there was a few titles I picked up, and I don't remember exactly what I picked up. I don't remember what it was, but I picked up a few other things. And pull that up. So that those are coming too, and so like that was pretty much it. And then obviously Jackie Brown's pre-ordered, Kill Bill 1 and 2 were pre-ordered, and then picked up one other thing this month already, and that's it. So I was like, yeah, it's like to get 60 bucks on the Hitcher, and then all the import stuff. I'm like, January, I'm done. Like Christmas killed me. This month, I'm done. Like, I hope like I hope next month is a light month. Like really. Let's see, imprint. Let's see what did I get here. Yeah, because I just pre-ordered that, but then like they pushed back the dates, and so like obviously they're busy. They've been busy with their stuff, so some of the stuff has been getting pushed back, but not too much because it was supposed to come out. The TV shows were supposed to come out at the end of this month, but then I think they got pushed back to like the first week of February now. So as I got in here, what did I order? Let's see while it's loading up. And Thomas says, I'll vouch for the blind buy. Yeah, honestly, like if it's still available, I mean, it hasn't been sold out yet, but it's like, I'm sure it's this was a huge release, like all around, like people that don't buy premium sets were talking about this one, and so like it's something that huge fan base. I was like, and not everybody can be wrong. Let's see what I got. But then yeah, just for imprint February, like I've got a lot of stuff I got my eye on there. Now that I'm on their website, and then see what did I order? Let's see. It was a decent size order, but then even with the sales, like it was still a decent order. Let's see. View. So yeah, with the savings, it's in Aussie dollars. So I don't really know. Maybe I can switch this over. Can I switch this over. Okay. So with the savings on the sale items, I saved about $47. So it's basically like getting something for free at that point when you look at it like that. So I got the Bewitched season 1 and 2 and I Dream of a Genie complete sets. That was a must buy for me. I've been talking about it for so long. It's something I want in the collection, and so that one I got, and then I bought while I was there the Kim Novak box set. So there's 3 films there, I believe, and that was like 55 before the sale. And then so basically I kind of got that for just a few dollars if you look at the savings I got. And then Cold Steel, it was something that I had wanted to get during the Black Friday sale, but like the website was all crashed out. I couldn't get it, and every time I was adding stuff to the cart, I was trying to check out. Like every time I'd go to click check out, something in my cart was sold out, and it wouldn't let me check out. And I started the process again and tried to do it, and slow. And so I gave up, and I never ordered anything for Black Friday, and that was in my cart then, so it was still available. I picked it up, and then the Marlon Brando Volume 1. So I don't think I have any Marlon Brando sets or Marlon Brando movies in my collection other than Superman. So let me just check. So CLZ. I love this app. Thanks, Brian. Let's see. So then we go to actor, type in Marlon Brando. Oh, he was in the score. I have that too. I love the score. Marlon Brando. Yeah, it says I have 5 Marlon Brando films. Candy, which is it's a weird cult movie that Kino. I think Kino put that out a while ago. Yeah, Kino put that out, and I bought it because one, the cover, like there's a half naked girl painted on the cover, but then Walter Matthau's in it, and so at the time I was really into like anything Jack Lemmon, anything Walter Matthau. I was just trying to get, and so that one. It's a cult film, and it's definitely something. It's another one from the '70s that I don't think they would ever make today. So that one apparently he's in that. I don't remember him in there, so I have to rewatch that. Obviously Superman, The Godfather, uh, and Island of Dr. Moreau. So those are the only, and that I have on DVD. But those are the only Marlon Brando films I have in the collection, and those are the ones that most people have seen. Other than Candy, like all the other ones, like everyone has seen those. And so, yeah, I gotta dive into more of his films, and that I haven't even. I don't think I've even seen like all of Last Tango in Paris, which is like the most famous one that everybody talks about. Let's see, we got that. Apocalypse Now. I have it on CED, I believe, but I don't have like a watchable version because I don't have a CD player anymore. But yeah, I've seen it. I just don't have it. I'm pretty sure if I was to go through my CEDs, I'm pretty sure I have it there. Let's see. Are you possibly picking up Constantine 4K Standard Edition? No, I'm picking up the Deluxe Edition from the UK. So that's the version I'm getting. I pre-ordered it. That was like a day one because they didn't even announce the artwork yet, and I was like, I have to get it. I'm pre-ordering it, and I think like it was, yeah, 100%. It was before all of the artwork was announced, and then all of a sudden I had the other one pre-ordered, and then they announced the steelbook art, which was hideous, just a black cover with Constantine in white letters. And I was like, it was boring and plain, and then everybody complained, and then all of a sudden they changed it, so that was huge, and I'm glad they changed it. But yeah, I'm getting the deluxe edition. Let's see. And then, wow, it was an hour and a half. So we've been doing like 2 hour shows lately. Let's see. Oh, I planned for like a 2 hour show today. So if you guys want to keep going, I'll do a 2 hour show. And because like normally on Saturdays we talk about what's coming out, So I didn't have anything ready because I thought that this was going to take a lot longer than it did. Sometimes I talk and I get on a tangent, but yeah. So we'll do this, I guess, kind of live. I won't have any thoughts here. Bikini Car Wash Company 1 and 2. I think I have to buy this just based on the cover alone. Something I've never seen, but I'm pretty sure this is something. So if I actually watch it, maybe I saw it and just don't remember it. But this is something I would 100% associate with like the Up All Night with Rhonda Shear. That used to be on USA. That right there is what I would definitely associate this with that. So you got both of those. The Bikini Car Wash Company. I think you know exactly what you're getting into with this, and so yeah, I think I have to have it. That's being coming out in May. So yeah, that'll be on my pre-order there. Oh, 100%. I love those I love those like they're not light-hearted, but like the light, fun, goofy comedies, like things you would 100% find on a Saturday afternoon, things that MVD puts out. I think those are my favorite. Like people really get into like Vinegar Syndrome and stuff. If I were to like dive into like like, if there was ever, like, a subscription service, not saying I would ever do it, but if there was, like, ever a subscription service where they're just gonna send you everything, I'd take it from MVD, I think. Yeah, but I like that. And then, let's see, what do we got? Then Quiet Ones, what's this? I don't even know what this is. Another Magnolia Pictures, Quiet Ones, looks like a heist movie. Says, "Get in, get out, get paid." So something I'm not even familiar with this one, but it's coming out in May. And just based on a heist movie, I'll give it a whirl, but I don't think it's going to be a day one, not for me. But worth checking out, I guess. Obviously, sucker for heist films, but also coming out from a different label. So maybe this is a international film, maybe it's a foreign film. Let's see where it says. Yeah, it's Magnolia Pictures, but I don't know what that is. Lidlos. So yeah, I'm not going to play the trailer, but 2008, a group of men from Denmark and across Europe pull off the biggest heist of all time on Danish soil. Casper, a boxer with a few chances left in life, is offered an opportunity to plan the robbery. All right, I was like, I'd check it out, but I don't know if it's going to be a day one for me for sure. Let's see. The question is anyone not getting Constantine? Very true. Very true. Blue Corner says I'm not. Yeah, I like Constantine. I do. It's like, and I think it's a guilty pleasure for me. I was not into the comic book. Like I know I did read comic books when I was younger, but Constantine's one that I completely missed. But the movie, I've loved it from the beginning, and I was like, it's one of those ones you can go, yeah, Keanu Reeves. You get what you get, but I like it. I've always liked it. I like anything to do with like, because there's a level of fun with it, and you have Shia LaBeouf. So I was like, I know that people think he's crazy, and like there's a lot of people that don't like Shia LaBeouf, but I like him. I like early Shia LaBeouf. I like like when he ran his mouth in all those movies, and then like let's see, what's that one he did? Oh, I have it on HD DVD. Disturbia. Disturbia. It's one of my all-time favorite Hitchcock films, Rear Window, and there's been a million Rear Window, rip-offs or homage type movies or whatever you want to call it. But Disturbia is probably my favorite Rear Window rip-off of all time, and it's 100% because of Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, it looked like a Korean flick. Denmark must be a Korean flick. Yeah, kind of looked like that. Directly translated. Uh, okay. The Soundless, directly translated. Okay. Shia is entertaining to me. Oh, 100%. And I honestly think he's a great actor. Like I know because of all the craziness and all whatever, people have their own opinion, but when you really look at it, like and you can even say that just like Ryan Reynolds and some of those other guys, like he plays the same character in every film. I actually think he's a really good actor, and like that one where he kind of loosely played himself, like he played his dad in that movie, and the movie was kind of based on his life or whatever. That Honey Boy or whatever that movie is. That's a good movie. Like that's a real, and I need to have it in the collection now. I think I gotta buy that. Is that even like? Has it even been on Blu-ray? Let's see. Because like yeah, that was I saw it, but I haven't seen it since it came out. Yeah, there's no Blu-ray of that. Yeah. So that, yeah, that's one I'm probably stuck on streaming or something. But yeah, Honey Boy, I thought was a really good film. And then the other one, that Peanut Butter Falcon, I haven't seen that one, but the trailer it looked really good. I'm telling you, I think Shia LaBeouf makes my probably like 10 of my favorite actors that are completely underrated. Like maybe not my 10 favorite of all time, but definitely underrated. Oh yeah, he's phenomenal in Fury, like phenomenal. But yeah, Peanut Butter Falcon is something I gotta check out. Like I do. I've seen the trailer quite a few times recently. I don't know. I've been watching some older things I found at thrift stores recently, and I've two of them have had the Peanut Butter Falcon trailer on there. Yeah, 100%. And then I had the closed out the window. Pull that back up. So then let's go back to Blu-ray.com. What else is coming out? So yeah, that's that. Definitely interested there. We have so this is something that I think maybe this one passed me by too. What is this? This is from 1981. Oh, I don't know. I don't think this is a comedy. Final Cut Entertainment. It comes out in January 27th. So this is something that is this a comedy? No, I don't think it. So there's another movie like Private something. I have that, and that's a comedy, and it has like a similar movie poster, I think. But yeah, this one here looks like maybe not maybe a coming of age story. It looks like, and obviously the kid looks like he's a teenager standing on the books there. But then let's see, what do I have? I have this, and I know for a fact it's a comedy, but it's like my wife doesn't think it's funny. Let's see, Private, and it's another one of those like coming of age stories. So it's the one I have is Private School, and it's a similar movie poster. So let me see this. Let's see. So he's sitting on books, she's kissing him, and you have this one here. It's Phoebe Cates. So that one, I love it. It's a good film. But yeah, that's what that reminds me of. Is this one? Let's see. Oh, I forgot to check. Was it a comedy? Private private lessons. So private lessons. It says it is a comedy. An immigrant housemaid seduces a 15-year-old boy. Sounds hilarious. And later takes her own death as part of his chauffeur's blackmail plot, or later fakes her own death as part of his chauffeur's blackmail plot. Troubles arise when the two start to fall in love. Okay. It says it's a comedy. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Let's see. Got that. Thomas says, "Poor, poor dude went a little nuts," and I read that wrong. Like when I saw it over here, I read it as "poor little dude." So it's just like I know he's short, but come on, man. Poor dude went a little nuts. Completely different from his persona from Even Stevens. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, when you look at like a lot of those Hollywood kids, and like you look at like Macaulay Culkin was like on meth for years, probably a decade or more, and then now he's like all better, and like Lindsay Lohan, same thing. So like something happens when the kids go through that Hollywood ringer. It just kind of makes you feel bad. Like it's just one of those things. It's like I would never really stick my kid in there. But then you look at like it seems like the kids that end up messed up later are the ones that their parents weren't like there on sets with them and involved. They just kind of dumped them off, let them do their thing, and then you know everybody's got a different story with that and like what happened to them, their own personal stories. But you hear all these like things, and yeah, it's a same thing. It's just it seems like he got dumped off in Hollywood. Hollywood screwed him up a little bit, and yeah, he went a little nuts. But yeah, I think he was a good actor. I always liked him. Video Pro, hey, what's up, brother? A few on my wish list: 3 O'clock High, Remo Williams, and Pope of Greenwich Village, uh, Gumball Rally. So Remo Williams, I'm familiar with. 3 O'clock High is a good one. That one has a Blu-ray, but I don't think it's coming out on 4K anytime soon. But yeah, 3 O'clock High is a good one. Let's see, 3 o'clock. But I think 3 O'clock High is one. Yeah, Shout Factory has that one, unless there's a different one. No, yeah. There's only a Blu-ray of that one. I think I have it. I think I have. It's a good one. I haven't seen it in like probably a year or two. I saw it, so maybe I have it. Maybe I don't. Crawl's a good one. I just picked that one up very recently on Blu-ray. So yeah, that's a good one. That cover reminds me of Prom. I'm vertically challenged. Nice, nice. I mean, like, obviously not nice for you, but like, I get the sentiment. I get the sentiment. I'm thinking of getting Brotherhood of the Wolf on 4K. Anyone seen that one? That one comes highly recommended. Every time it gets mentioned, like everyone tells me I have to see it. I still have not seen it, and so I think that one's in my Amazon wish list. So it's something I got to get knocked out. But like because it's a because it's a movie that no one else in my family is going to really get into. From what I understand, it's a foreign film, so you got subtitles. I like those films; they don't bother me. But no one in my family really gets into anything like that, and so it's something that buying it for myself, not a big deal. I buy stuff for myself all the time, but then like it's a werewolf movie, so I'm gonna want to watch it around spooky season. So if I buy it now, I'm just not gonna be in the right mood to watch it now. So it's something that I got to get, and people definitely tell me to watch it. And it was like, I'm not one like I'll watch scary movies like all year long, but like that one, just the atmosphere, the vibe from it, everything about it, just kind of I feel I got to watch it in the fall. Like Werewolf in London, just because like the whole vibe of the film and the fact that the whole London scene they're there, it's kind of dreary and dark and rainy and cold. I can't watch that one in the summertime. I was like, I gotta watch it like fall. Like I could probably watch Werewolf in London now, but like yeah, summertime I just can never watch it. Probably because they're wearing coats in the beginning too. Like it's one of those things. I just can't do it. Yeah, so that's one. Uh, Brian says, dude, Private Lessons is back. This was supposed to be released months ago and then it disappeared. I guess it's back. Oh yeah, so yeah, Private Lessons, but it looks like it's like a foreign release. When I went back to it, let's see. Maybe not. Yeah, it says this is a British release. Let's see. So it looks like yeah, it's going to be an import, but like $15. Private or £15. Yeah, I guess we had a Blu-ray back in September 2016, and then that was it. So then, yeah, this one here, it's the British one, so it's coming out in January. So yeah, import it, brother. Yeah, I'll probably grab it. Now that you're excited for it too, I'll probably grab that one, 100%. And then this one, we talked about this one earlier because I brought up on the cinematograph. So, Bang the Drum Slowly. This is one. It's been a while since I've seen it, but there was a kick. Like I watched Bull Durham a few years ago. I mean, I had seen that one before. I saw that one like back in the '90s or whatever. But a few years ago, I watched Bull Durham, and then right afterwards, I watched Babe, and so then I was like marathoning like all these like baseball films and like movies I hadn't seen before, and so I hadn't seen Bang the Drum Slowly before, but then I watched it I liked it. I really did. I enjoyed that one, but like I pretty much watched all of them that were like that I could get my hands on. Like I didn't watch every baseball film, but I probably watched like in that marathon weekend or whatever, maybe like 10 or 15 like baseball films. Anything to do with baseball. I was just like super into it. And I was just trying to I don't know if I was trying to like relive my childhood or like when I was like in elementary school, I was big into baseball. I used to watch the Yankees all the time. I'm from upstate New York. It was there. But then like I realized in like a 3-month period of like being super into baseball, I was like, I'm not a sports guy. Like I ended up not liking it. And it just like it was like a 3-month fad. And so I was like, maybe I was trying to relive that. Yeah, but I like some of those films, and Bang Drum Slowly would be one I'd pick up. Oh, did I share this? I don't even think I shared it. Let's see. Share the screen. So yeah, Bang the Drum Slowly. It comes out soon, January 28th. So this is one cinematograph line, and I like what they do. I like the packaging. Um, Covers classic. It's probably the movie poster or something. I just have the front, but yeah, Vinegar Syndrome. I'd pre-order that if you're interested. It's a great film. This probably is the original movie poster here. So yeah, nothing more important than friendship, not fame, not money, not death. Yeah, De Niro's in this one. Yeah, I think it's a good one. I think it's a good one. Let's see. Yeah, another one. It's probably not a day one, but like obviously, but yeah, it's something I want to grab. That's what I want to grab. What else we got? Delicatessen. This is something Severn Films. I like the artwork on here. I don't know what this is about. What is this? There's a 4K restoration done by Studio Canal, so that's something to look forward to. Uh, it's been called murderously funny, subversively stylish, and visually stunning achievement. Now experience the most charming post-apocalyptic cannibal comedy ever made. All right, you got me there. I'm in. I'll check it out. Delicatessen cannibal comedy from Severin Films. This one comes out in March. Yeah, that's a pre-order. I think the $45 price tag. I think that's a little high. I'm gonna go to Severin Films and see what they have it for. But yeah, for I think $45 for like looking like a standard non-slip, non-special edition, just a 4K. I think it's pushing it. I think the $35 price range is where I really like those. And I get like cost of stuff is going up, the cost of restorations goes up. Like I understand that to a point, but I can't justify a $45 purchase on something I've never seen before, even if it's like the greatest movie in the world. So $35 is my cap for blind buys on 4Ks. Even if they come like highly recommended. You guys in the chat, if you were like, hey, 100% you're gonna love this film, even at $45, I'm like, I'll wait. So interested, but I'm telling you, probably a day one purchase if it was $35. And then like, you can argue the $10, it starts to add up though. It really does. I was like very quickly, just that extra $5, extra $10 when you're buying a lot of this stuff. And I never wanted to do like the 2025 new year, new me kind of video or kind of talk, but I do have like a plan for the year, and it is one solid 100% like day one purchase of the month. And then most of the focus is on upgrades. That's why I was showing these off in the beginning because I was watching this one. Well, not that one. I was watching Deuce Bigelow and Striptease, and Deuce Bigelow did not have an upgrade. There's a DVD, so if I find it at the thrift store, I'm going to pick it up. But then, like I said, it's the year of the upgrades. So then Striptease, I didn't have that on Blu-ray, and I just ordered it. So yeah, that's kind of the focus for the month, unless there's like real amazing films and they're also part of the upgrade process. Uh, I'm probably not going to do like I did this last year, where it was like everything I had to grab. I tried to get all the new stuff, and I was like, there's many of those films that I wanted. So they're like, I think maybe total all of last year, I did 4 blind buys, and one of them I hated. So it's one of those things that I think they were pretty good, but almost every single thing was either 100% on my radar, my list, things I wanted, or they were upgrades already. So I kind of did it, but this year it really is like focusing on rewatching all my DVDs, my VHS, and seeing if I can upgrade. Yeah, Delicatessen. It's on my radar though. What do we got? Some stuff I'm not interested in. This one here is going to be a day one purchase. I freaking love this film, and I do have the Blu-ray, but it is like it might not be a huge upgrade, but I'm looking forward to it because I think the last time I watched it on the 4K, not that I was like, oh, this is looking bad, but I did think to myself like a 4K would just be nice. So, and we're talking about Inside Man. Love this film. Early 2025, so no 100% release day yet, but yeah, that one's going to be a day one purchase. Kino Lorber, yeah, that one I love. And then I thought I liked the poster, so I think the poster's fine, and that was the original movie art. I think I like the poster a lot better than what we got for the Blu-ray, and especially this older Blu-ray. So yeah, that was 100% too, because I have a pile here that I want to talk about. all these older Blu-rays with this like gray, the perfect high def movie experience. Those were the Blu-rays that were like the originals. So any of the technology they were using to restore films, or even if they did restore some of them, because some of them didn't get restorations, they just got slapped on digital. But any of these ones with that gray bar at the bottom, those are the oldest ones in my collection. They're the oldest ones that I have. Like this version of it, let's see, came out in 2015. And so it's, the technology has changed a little bit from, in the 10 years now of the restorations and stuff. So I've noticed a lot of even the older movies that have never been put on Blu-ray, like Death to Smoochie, looks freaking amazing. And comparing that transfer and that quality on that Blu-ray, comparing it to some of the older Blu-rays, there's a good upscale, clearly. So yeah, that's something 100% I'm going to grab. But this one here, I was never a huge fan of this movie poster or that cover art, and so I don't know if I love this white here, but I think I like it because it's different. I think like in the entire movie poster, all of this information here, the March 2006, like all this stuff from the movie poster, if that was not part of the entire image, I think I would like it a lot better. But I'm sure this is like the poster that they had in the movie theaters and stuff, because it's something I had never seen before. But I do like it, kind of. And then let's see, how am I there? Let's see, home. And then let's see what else is here. This we talked about this today too. So this is a part of their January release. So like I said, it would be a day one, but I went a little overboard already in January. I don't want to make 2025 be the year of I'm at my budget or I'm going over my budget like every single month. So this is a movie I like. I have the DVD. I want to upgrade. I don't think that those older, crappier CGI special effects, I don't think they're going to carry over well. Because like the last time I watched this was probably a year ago, but it was a distracted watch because it was in the kitchen. I have the TV set up there, but it's an old, it's a 32-inch, but it's like a big old CRT with a DVD player hooked in. And so it looks good for what it is, but then also I'm not sitting down watching it. Like it's just on in the background. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm in the kitchen while I'm watching it. And so like I thought it was pretty okay, but even when I watched it fresh, I thought those special effects were kind of cheesy. And so on the 4K, I just think that they're going to look even more cheesy, but I got to get it anyway. I like the film. It's a cult classic, and it's just not going to be a day one for me. I might have to wait. I hope it's still around. I hope it doesn't sell out. But yeah, I'd like to get that one. And then this one here, interesting enough. I didn't know anything about this one, but it's something from Canadian International Pictures, Keanu and Company. So I was like, I don't know if this is a movie or if it's like a documentary or what this is, but I noticed it the other day, and it says releasing Keanu and Company. The release scheduled to, yeah. What is this about? Keanu Reeves gave his first lead performance in 1985. Oh, so it's like a documentary type thing. One step away, establishing the charm and vulnerability of his beloved screen persona while exploring. Yeah, so it's like a Keanu Reeves documentary. That's kind of what I thought it was, but like when I clicked on the trailer, clicked on this trailer, it like started playing like it was a movie, so I didn't realize that it might have been that. But yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna grab that one, but it was interesting enough. The Heretic is something that everyone rags on Criterion. How like if you love Criterion films, they may be pretentious, or there's like film snobs, like the film aficionados, like those kind of guys. And I can see that point to a point. But I think there is that same kind of attitude with the A24 guys. I have some A24 films in my collection, but I haven't really loved them. I haven't even watched the Midsummer yet. I picked it up for like $5. I haven't got it, but then I was always tempted to grab that like premium set that they got at Walmart, the big yellow, like, I don't know, it's like long. So it's like this weird looking case just because it's a weird release. And so it's like I keep thinking about that, but I still haven't watched the film. And like the only one that I have that I still own and I watched was Priscilla. And even that one I didn't like love. But so far, like anytime I watch the A24 films, I think they're okay, but I was like, I don't really get into them. But then like the conversation surrounding these A24 films, like people are like they get like crazy about it. There's like huge fans of this, and I was like, if you like it, you like it. So I'm not knocking that, but I have not really got into them, and I feel that like the A24 crowd is just like the Criterion crowd. You got your film snobs. People like them, but I was like, that is that. But this trailer, it did get me. This is one that I'm interested in. So it would be a blind buy, but it also depends on that price. So $26, yeah, I'll pick this up. I like the package, I like the way it looks, and I liked the trailer. But I think like with all the A24 films, I think I'm gonna leave disappointed. So I was like, I'm not super excited about it, but it is something I had wanted to see, and I was like, I'm justifying it. If I went to go see it in the theater, I'm going to spend that anyway. Like 26 bucks, like that's nothing at the movie theater. You go with your wife, you got the two tickets, but then you got popcorn, snacks, like whatever you're going to get. You're in at like close to 50 bucks probably by the time you're done seeing this film. So 26 bucks, easy blind buy, but I was like I just honestly I have not been into really any of the A24 films. But if you like them, you like them. Let's see. Thomas says Brotherhood of the Wolf is the shit. That's what I hear. I hear it's real good. I do hear it's real good. Um, do you own any of the Paramount Scares box sets? No, because like both of them, I had several of the movies, not all of them, but I had several of the movies that I had wanted already on another format, either Blu-ray or 4K. But then at the same time, like there was movies in the collections that I just wasn't really into. So I thought that the boxes were cool and I like those kind of premium sets, but like in those sets, it was the same thing like the other one, like the Columbia Classics. There's several of those films that I would love to have, but I never picked them up because there's also several of those films that I'll never watch, or I'll watch one and it'll be a one and done and I don't really like it. And so it's cool to have the box set, but then at that point it's just displaying stuff that, I don't want to watch. And so I was like, yeah, that's same thing. The Paramount Scares thing. And I think the last one, like the second one, I liked it better because I think it was red. But in both of them, well, let me pull them up because I was like, I know for a fact I had some of the titles, but then there was 100% titles that I didn't like. Paramount Scares. So volume one was the red set, and this one here, let's see, share the screen. Okay, so this one here, I like the box set. I like what they did. I think it's sharp. It'll display nicely, but I really don't like Pet Cemetery. I just got the Rosemary's Baby on the Criterion. I found that out in the wild. It was sealed and it had the wrong label on it, so I got it for a good deal. So glad I got that one because it was at the time when the Criterion version was still selling for a lot. Even though the 4K was out, I had bought the 4K when it came out, but as soon as I got the Criterion, I traded it in. So that right there, I like having that, and I guess it's the film snob in me. But I don't like Pet Cemetery. I didn't like either of them. I tried them both. I think I liked the original better, but yeah, I was like, I don't even know which one that one's being offered. Sweeney Todd, I have the Blu-ray, and it's something that it doesn't get watched all that often. I like musicals, and I like this. I like the macabre. It's just the gore and the blood is just a little too much for the rest of my family. I got my youngest just turned 8, so like even that stuff is just a little too much for her, especially since she's the only one in the house that like goes into acting. Like she wants to be an actor, and so every time like certain movies, like we watch Star Wars, she's bouncing off the sofa. I don't need her reacting or reenacting Sweeney Todd. So it's just one of those things. I like the film, and I don't even know, is that a 4K? Oh, that is 4K. So I would like to get Sweeney Todd on 4K, but I have it on Blu-ray, so it wasn't a need. Crawl, I haven't seen it. It was interesting, but it kind of looked like a Saturday afternoon film for me. So it's something I would like to just watch first, and then Smile. I didn't like Smile, so that's where I stand on those films. And so it wasn't worth it for me. And then the other one, Paramount Scares Volume Two. So I also liked this one. I liked the green, and I don't think the price point what they're asking for is bad. But then again, in this one, what do we have? I have, um, let's see, what is it? I can't read all that. What does it say it's coming with? Oh, okay. Friday the 13th, I have that. Breakdown, I have it. World War Z, I have it. Orphan, this is the new one. First Kill. So the prequel, I didn't like it. I like the first one, but the prequel I didn't like because she's older now in real life. Like there was no going back. Like she's supposed to play a character that's like got stunted growth, and there's that whole thing. And I think it's fine, but there's such a good gap between the two movies that she's older, she's bigger. It just I can't you can't tell me that that's the prequel. I just can't wrap my head around it. And I just for some reason I don't know. It's like one of those things like the cat's out of the bag. I couldn't enjoy it. The first one I liked because you didn't really know until the end. Like that third act, I just kind of liked it. So that I didn't like that one, and I have all the other ones. So yeah, that's the reason I didn't get into them. So no hate on them, but I mean, I guess I hate them because there's something I didn't like. But yeah, that's why I skipped that one. It's the exact same reason I didn't get the Columbia Classics. Let's see. JJ says, just dumped off my kids. Or I just dumped my kids off on set. Nice. Nice. Blue Corner. Arrow did Remo Williams in Arrow in the UK. Okay, I'll check it out. Check it out because I don't have that one at all on Blu-ray. Okay. And AV Pop Culture. Morning Chase. Morning, brother. Morning. Quietly Games. I would like to see Criterion release Robin Williams Popeye movie. I don't know if I need a Criterion, but I would pick it up. Like if they put it out, I'll pick it up. But I don't have it. I was tempted to because I keep seeing it at Barnes and Noble when I go to get Criterion stuff, and it's usually about like $8. But it's something that I remember from my childhood, so I haven't watched it in many years. And when I say childhood, I was probably like early teens when I saw it, like maybe 12, 13. I remember it being on like a Saturday afternoon. I remember watching it on TV. And so I enjoyed it. And I think it really should come out like in a nicer set. Like I think, many of those Robin Williams films should be put out on nicer sets. But and there's quite a few of them that I have in my collection that have just never been on Blu-ray, like Final Cut. Like that's I think is an amazing film, never had a Blu-ray. But then yeah. So I was like, I don't necessarily need it. I was like, I think I'd be fine with that $8 Blu-ray, but even at the $8 price, I haven't picked it up. So I don't know if it's like one of those things like I kind of feel that like if you're a Criterion or a premium set got released, I would get it out of FOMO, but at the $8 price, I still haven't picked it up. So it's one of those things. But yeah, it's probably good 30 years since I've seen that film. Brian says Brotherhood of the Wolf looks great on 4K. Yeah, I think you were the one telling me about that. So I definitely it's high on my list. High on my list. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. Don't go into Brotherhood of the Wolf thinking spooky season. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I watched I didn't watch like the whole trailer. I just watched like part of something. There was like some clip and I just kind of got that vibe. Like not really, I guess spooky season, but I guess like that time of year, I guess. Final Cut Entertainment is low budget UK label. Oh, okay. All right. And Darren G says Brotherhood is a strange mix of period drama, martial arts, and monster movie. I know that's what everyone tells me about it, and that's one I got to get into. I got to get into it. Brian says the Private Lessons Blu-ray from US is over $100. Oh, get the hell out of here! I think it's a 4K scan of Japan's release is in 4K. Oh wow. Well, if it's an American movie in a Japan release, it'll should have just the English language speaking. So I was like, pick that one up, man. Pick that one up. But I was like, I have no problem picking up the Blu-ray. I have no and so the British one, I'll import it, and it looked good for like what is it, 15 or $17 or pounds or whatever that is. I think I'll grab that. Fort Drum. Delicatessen is good. Delicatessen is good. Yeah, it's like it sounds good. It sounds like it's right up my alley. I don't think it's at that $45 price tag. So if it's a better price on Severin, yeah, I was like, it'll be a day one, I think. But if not, nah. Sorry if I missed it in the broadcast. What was the app you used to catalog your collection? Thanks. Oh, that's I've talked about it before, but I can't take credit for it because Brian had it first. I had another app, but this one is so much better. So they're the one I used to use. You buy it once, you pay for it. I think it was like $20 or $30 or whatever it was, but you own the app. You own it at the end of the day, and then you don't have to do anything. But then that one, it works. You scan your movies. It's a little bit slower, but it 100% works. And that was called iCollect. But the one Brian used, and that's what I got. It's way better, super fast. It connects to IMDb, so when you click your title, it's like right there. It's got all the information. Like I was talking about Problem Child, then you can like click if you've seen the movie or not before. But then like I mean, it's kind of bright. Maybe I'll turn my contrast down. Okay, you can see better. So then like yeah, so it takes you right there. It's got all the information, and then uh, it just catalogs a lot better. But then that one is a monthly service, so it's like $2 a month, I think. And then I paid for the whole year, so it's $20 for the whole entire year. And then next year they're just going to charge me $20. So it's about the cost of a movie, but I've got thousands of movies, and then it just catalogs it so much better. It's really fast. I'm able to go in and pick the actor, and then just type in the actor's name, and then it shows me all the movies that they've been in, even if I don't think that they've been in it. It's got that information. It just catalogs so well. And then I've been able to put all my stuff in, even the Betamax tapes. Like I've been able to put all my stuff in. Like I think the only thing I didn't catalog is the CEDs. That was it. But yeah, I like it. CLZ. Thomas says 100% for Virtuosity, Denzel, and Russell Crowe. Yes. So I'm hearing 80s is a pretentious A24 guy. That's what you heard. That is what you heard. Do you have the Friday the 13th collection box set from Shout? I do. Do I have it visible? Where is it? Oh, it's right there. Right there. So yeah, I have that. And then I got it. I got the Friday the 13th, the poster that it came with. I had that framed professionally and matted. And so that sits on the wall over there. I got a room tour coming at some point, but I was like, I got all this like camera gear and all this stuff, and I got this big light. So I was like, I don't know if I want to take some of it out of here, because like this light is like ridiculous. Like just show you. See, oh no, it's not gonna come off very well. Never mind, I won't show you. But anyway, it's just huge. It's like it's freaking huge. This huge light that's like here for the new camera I got. So I was like, if doing a room tour, it kind of is in the way of this entire shelf and all this other stuff. So I might have to take that out of there and then do the room tour. But yeah, I got that coming, and I'll show all the stuff. But I have that entire wall. I just have a like an armchair, like an old Barca lounger that I sit there, and then the entire wall behind it is just it's got that giant Friday the 13th movie poster, but then it's got all my autograph stuff. So it's just like I've got like I got the Scream, I got Linda Blair, I've got stuff from Fright Night, and I got Elvira. Like so, some of my favorite things are over there, and like autographs. I have Carrie Fisher's autograph. I got that thing. So yeah, I was like, I'll do the room tour at some point, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I've been busy. Uh, Crawl is the best one in the volume one to me. Okay, so I was like, yeah, it's I felt that I'd want to see it, but I just didn't feel that it was worth jumping into that whole box to get that film. What do we got? Oh, we got $1.99 super chat from Thomas DiCarlo. Awesome, awesome, brother. Let's see. He didn't say anything though. Sometimes people say stuff. I was like, let me see. What do we got? For that super chat, I got something special for you. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to get hit on copyright, but we're going to play it anyway. Play it anyway. I think it's worth it. Thank you. Thomas says, my phone screwed me, and that was for officially 2+ hours. Appreciate it, brother. Ah, thank you, brother. Thank you. Thanks. Nice. Uh, well, you said it. Room tour is the next video. So Thomas DiCarlo doesn't ever hear anything I say. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. But yeah, I'll work on it. I'll work on it because I love how this is all set up, and I think I'm afraid I'm going to change it because I also have I've got a boom mic, so I have a boom mic here. Then I have this one that's plugged into the camera, and it literally is just like a boom mic. And so like I think if I move it, And I'm still trying to dial it all in. I know my last video, the audio was a little. I'll plug it in later. I know my audio was like a little off. Like if I move just right, like so it's I got to still dial that in a little more. But I think right now it's okay. And I think if I move it and get everything out of here and bring it back, I'm gonna have to sit down and figure it all out again. Um, let's see. Hell yeah, Prince and Batman. Yeah. Yeah, you can't go wrong. And that was the thing. I was like, no matter what, it's like one, it's Batman, but two, it's Prince. Because I wanted to do it a little bit longer. Like there was the part where, Jack Nicholson says, "Money, money, money, money." It's like I wanted to do that part, but like I just was kind of feeling like, if anything, maybe I can get away with like that smaller clip. So yeah, super fun. But yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was like, I've had that stuff in there. I was like, I just like I said, any new members, I got a video, and then a super chat, I got a video, and so I figured it'd be fun, but I didn't tell anybody about it because I was just waiting for it to happen. Oh, and the everyone, if anybody says it, because like I see that all the time, talking around, and people say, hello everyone or good, and so as soon as I see that, like that's when I'll play it. But I already played it once, so I was like, I'm not going to overplay it, one of those things. But yeah, that's that. Thomas says, I selectively hear you, I listen. Yes, yes, you do. Quietly Game says, I want to pick up more Paramount Presents movies. I have 4 so far. I have a couple of the Paramount Presents line. I don't have any of their new 4K stuff. I don't even know they're over there. They're over there, but I have a couple of them. The one I actually that it was on my list that I really wanted to get that I haven't picked up yet was this one. And it was so it's one that I saw when it first came out, and so it was on my radar last year, but it was one of the ones that just kind of it got overshadowed by all the other stuff that was coming out. I don't even remember when this actually came out, so I can remember what overshadowed it. So it came out in August. Like I just don't even remember what actually came out in August that year. If I had anything. Um, so in August, oh, see, I can share this screen. Yeah, so the entire month of August, I picked up a few things. And I know that the one on here was a day one purchase. So like that might have been the reason I picked it up. So we have Death to Smoochie, Can't Hardly Wait. Um, Clash of the Titans, that wasn't a day one, but I picked it up about that time. Maybe a little bit after because I picked it up when they were on sale, and so it wasn't a day one, but it was not long after. So yeah, Red Eye was on my radar. I just hadn't grabbed it. Let's see, what else did I pick up that month? I know I picked up a lot of stuff that wasn't new releases. So I picked up a lot of stuff that was on sale, things that were Amazon. I definitely had a decent month in August, but as far as like the new stuff, those are my two like top number twos that I remember picking up. What else? Did Tremors come out back then too? Because I think I watched it around then. And then yeah, this came back out. So this is something I got to get. I forgot that this was a re-release. Yeah, so this yeah, August 20, yeah, this whole 5 collection. So I have all the movies. I only have the newer ones that are on 4K. I think the first one and like the last one. But yeah, the Underworld set, I got to add that to the wish list because I think it says buy on eBay. Yeah, so that's probably all gone now. That's something I want to get. Run Lola Run is something that as soon as it got announced, like a lot of people got excited for it. And I remember this poster. I remember everything about this except for I never saw the movie. So I don't know if it's good, but I know when this got announced, I know a lot of people were excited. So I do remember that being on my radar and then I missed it. Let's see, Dune. I picked up Dune back then, but I just got the standard. I didn't get that big box thing. I just got like the standard, whatever it was. I think. What else did I pick up? Anything else? None of these. None of these. Like, yeah, those are. I guess those were just like my top two like new releases that were day ones that I had to grab. Oh, I did pick up Immaculate. Definitely wasn't a day one. It was much later. I think that's it. Yeah, if I didn't like it though, that was a waste. Yeah, and some of the other ones like Desperado, I picked up like after, way after. Yeah, Poltergeist 2, yeah, I picked that one. That was a day one purchase. So yeah, those were a couple of my day one purchases there. So yeah, they kind of overshadowed Red Eye. So yeah, that's a Paramount one that I would love to get because I liked the film back then. Like I said, I haven't seen it. So when did it come out? 2005. So 20 years ago. So I haven't seen it like 18, 19 years easy. So yeah, that's one that I just don't even remember if I loved it, but I don't remember hating it. So I think I kind of want to get it. One of those things. That's like the only Paramount presents it's like really like hard on my list. But I know like the ones that I have, like I really liked the Cary Grant one, the How to Catch a Thief. That's one that I have. Oh, why do you keep somehow I'm on like German's website. Yeah, oh, here it is. To Catch a Thief. Yeah, I didn't so the 4K of it came out in October, but I have the Blu-ray. And the Blu-ray came out in 2020. I've had it like I don't think it was a day one for me, but I have had it for a while. And then the Paramount Presents line, can I even click that? Let's see. Paramount Presents. Oh no, I don't even know. Let's see. Paramount. See, there was a lot of people that were upset by the Paramount Presents line because the fact that it had there was this movies out on Blu-ray and they were only doing Blu-rays at the time and then the 4Ks weren't coming out. So there was a small conversation about people being frustrated by it, but I was like I kind of remember when it started 4Ks weren't all that popular. Like there weren't a lot of movies out on 4K. And so as we go into the Paramount Presents, here we go. Here's stuff. And I was like, I know that a lot of people think I'm, disagree with me or whatever, but I don't like the movie Airplane. I don't like it. I've never liked it. I've tried. I had it on DVD. I picked it up at the thrift store for like $2 because it's written in like grease pencil on the front. It says $1.98. So I paid $2 for it. I ended up like donating it back to the thrift store the other day. I don't like the film. I've definitely tried. So that's one. Even though I like the artwork and there's that, and I do like other movies that are in that vein. So they're not the exact same thing, but I like other movies that are in that vein. But I think that I just didn't watch them when I was young enough or whatever. Because like watching Airplane as an adult, I just never cared for. I never liked it. But 48 Hours, I have that. I have that. I have both of them on Paramount Presents. I have Almost Famous is one I would like to get. Double Jeopardy, I didn't pick up because I have it in an imprint, the imprint version of that. Fatal Attraction, I have. Election, I have passed on because I want to get the Criterion, and that goes back into me being a film snob. And Flashdance. Flashdance is one I would like to pick up, but then I think that's only a Blu-ray, and then the 4K came out. So I was like, I'm tempted to get the 4K. And so that was in that conversation of like people were upset that this was coming out, but then they put out the 4K and it didn't get put under the Paramount Presents label. It just got put out on a regular standard Paramount. And so people were upset by that. And then that's kind of why I stayed off, but I was like, I think I want the 4K anyway. Ghost, I had that on VHS. Ghost is one I need. So I was like, I'm going to add that to my wish list and get that soon or sometime this year. But yeah, Red Eye was high on my list. I have Roman Holiday. I love that. I have Pretty in Pink. I love that. The Golden Child. Now, this is a high recommend for me. If you have never seen this movie, I freaking love it. I know it's like, it's not for everybody, but it's not also not like your typical Eddie Murphy movie, but I love it. Everything about it. It's a perfect Saturday afternoon film for me. If you like, I mean, there's no martial arts, but there's like ties in like there's this monk child that gets kidnapped by a demon, and then there's like a snake lady demon. There's stuff in there, and then you have Eddie Murphy's humor and the whole entire thing. It's just something that 100% works. If they tried to make this film today, it would come off like in weird. But back when this was new, like I don't know, it came out probably when I was like way too young. But I remember seeing this. I was younger when I saw it, so this came out in '86. I was 4, so come on, there's no way I saw it when I was 4. But I probably saw this when I was like 10 or 11, easy. And I just remember it was on a Saturday afternoon, and I have loved it ever since. I have this on VHS, and then the Paramount Presents. As soon as it got announced, it was a day one for me. So that one is a high recommend. But again, I also know it's not for everybody. Um, yeah, To Catch a Thief, I love that. Like anything, Cary Grant, I'll watch anything he's in. And the Trading Places, I didn't have that because I had the standard Blu-ray, and then I was waiting for the 4K, and then I picked up the 4K eventually. So I skipped Trading Places. I have Rough Cut because I'm trying to get all the Burt Reynolds films. So Rough Cut, I think it's good, but it's got that whole 70s vibe. It's another one that, or it's an 80s film, but it does have a 70s vibe. I feel like the pacing about it, something about it. My wife hates the film just because she says it's slow and boring, but I like it. And then Breakdown. So Breakdown, I think, is a phenomenal movie, and it was part of that Paramount Scares. And this was only a Blu-ray. It says buy the DVD, but yeah, this was only available there. But then if you want the 4K, get the Paramount Scare set. But the thing is, I have the imprint version. I've had it for a while, and I like that. I think it's perfect. And then War of the Worlds. Again, I have the War of the Worlds imprint version. I don't have the When Worlds Collide, but it's kind of cool that they put both of those together. So other than that, is that all the Paramount presents? Let's see. Oh no, that's just all their films. Yeah, that's it. We're done with that. Yeah, that's that. And then yeah, about 2.5 hours. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Like right after I finish all these things. So if you have any last minute questions, you want to hit up anything before I go, yeah, let's wrap it up. It was fun, definitely a fun day, gentlemen. And yeah, we'll do it back to our regular programming next week. Let's see what do we got. Red Eye is a great Wes Craven film. Yeah, 100%. I liked it. I don't really remember it. It's one of those things I gotta watch again. HQ Videos. Hey, brother. Run Lola Run is a great watch. That's what I hear. Like everyone says it, but it's something that completely missed me. So I was like, I gotta check it out. I don't know if I'm gonna grab that version of it, the 4K. If it's a good, like we're talking like $15, I'll grab it 100%. But like, it's one of those things like, how often am I gonna revisit it? That kind of also justifies the price. I don't mind blind buying stuff, but like I've always been apprehensive if there's like blanket love for something. I'm not saying that anybody's wrong. It's just in my experience, like people have gone like, "Oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the whole world," and like everybody has that same sentiment. There's really nobody saying anything different. And then I watch it, I'm like, "It's okay," or like it's just kind of like something where I'm like, I feel like the odd man out. Like people that talk about Donnie Darko, I don't understand it. I don't. I've tried to give that movie a chance, but like people freaking love it. And then if you say you don't, like you're a martyr. Like so you're a horrible person. Like I'm a monster because I don't like Donnie Darko. And so it's like I kind of get that. That's because of the Donnie Darko thing. That's where I like kind of do that. So I want to check it out. I don't think I want to blind buy it, but I don't mind doing blind buys. That's the other thing. Thomas says, Six String Samurai just went back to 43 on Vinegar Syndrome. Watch those daily sales. They mean it when they say 24 hours. I missed out on the Prophecy trilogy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a good thing that they do. I mean, it gets that FOMO. It's like it totally does. So like, I don't know if I like it. It feels like I'm going to the casino. Like, so if like, there's a title I want, and then I'm like, oh, but it could go on sale, and then I don't get it, and then it doesn't go on sale, or if I like I'm doing this, and like it changed price. I'm like, oh man, it's like one of those things, or you forget about it. So I was like, it definitely. I don't know if I like the whole FOMO buying stuff like that, but yeah, it's kind of like going to the casino. If they remade Golden Child, they'd either pick The Rock or Kevin Hart. Please don't. So did you see The Rock or Kevin Hart playing the Snake Lady? I could see Kevin Hart doing it. Have you seen the movie Shark with Burt? Oh, that is a phenomenal film. Phenomenal. I love that one. Now, when I say phenomenal, it's a fun Saturday afternoon film. It's not for everybody, but I freaking love it. The opening scene, he's trying to get through a border patrol, like a border check, and as he's getting through, they're checking him out. He thinks he's going to get through, but then like another guard comes, is like, hold on, and then they find that he's smuggling. He's like a gun runner. So the opening scene, you find out Burt Reynolds is a gun runner. He's going through. So then he like guns the truck, and he starts driving away as fast as he can. They're chasing him, and he's freaking like lighting dynamite and throwing it out the window. Like, but it's not. he doesn't have like a serious tone about him when he's doing that. Like it's definitely like a nonchalant, like you got the Burt Reynolds smile all around. I like the film. I think it's great, but it's one of those that's like, yeah, the 70s cinema, it's not for everybody, but I like Shark. I like that one. Wait, hold on. Where the hell is your mug? Oh, so it's right here. It's right here. But I was afraid because, like, sometimes I get talking, and as I'm talking, the coffee moves a little bit, and I have some titles over here that I would be very upset if I got coffee on them, especially like the slipcover ones that you're not fixing. So I am drinking out of this. So we sell this on the site too. So the Saturday afternoon mug, and this one is the Dracula, the marquee there. So we have this as well. I do have the mug. I decided last minute that I would not drink out of this today. But you can get your mug down below. Links are always in the chat or in the description. John. I know what the name is, but it always kind of confuses me because they're smushed together. John Doe, what's up, brother? Super late. Sorry. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Oh, no problem. I was like, we went super late today, but you can always watch it on the back end, always. But thanks for being here. Appreciate you, brother. Thomas says, Donnie Darko, man. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like, and that's the thing about movies is obviously you like what you like. They're subjective. Like there's movies that I love that you're probably going to hate, or vice versa. But the fact that we have common ground, there's movies we like, you kind of get to know, each other. And like, so as you recommend movies, the fact that it was like how you feel about Donnie Darko and how you feel about some other things, like I feel really good about most of the things that I've already recommended to you. So it's like one of those things. But like, if I'm like, if you told me you freaking love Donnie Darko, I'm like, all right, cool. But then like it would change the types of movies I would recommend to you. And then the thing is like I have a wide palette of movies that I like, and so I was like, not everybody does, but I mean there are people that obviously do, but like there are quite a few people I talk to that just kind of they have their favorites and then they have like a little bit outside their favorites, and that's but it's almost always like niche or genre driven, and that's kind of what they're into. It's like, but me, I do have a wide palette, but like some things like that. Said, Doctor dude, you don't like Donnie Darko? Unsub. Oh man, yeah. I was like, I've tried so hard because I thought I was missing something, and so I watched it when it first came out, and like at the time when I watched it, it was a blind buy rental based on the cover alone. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. There's this weird rabbit thing on the cover. Like, I gotta check it out. And so nobody had ever been talking about it. I rented it, and I was like, it's like, that's how I kind of felt like the whole movie. And then by the end of it, I was like, I don't know if I like that. And then I was like, a few years later, I tried it again. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just seemed like everybody loved the film. Everybody was talking about it. And I'm like, what am I missing? And I tried to watch it a few other times. I can't get into it. I don't see what people like. Um, there are movies that I don't like, but I see how they're a really good film or they're really well made, and so I can see the argument there. For Donnie Darko, I don't understand it. If you like it, totally cool. Nothing against you, but it's something I'll never understand. And I have probably about 50 of those. I've been debating whether or not to do like a list of 50 of them, like because I know that the 25 movies makes a big long video, but like I know there's a solid 50 movies that I don't like and like everybody does. And so it's not like things that I haven't tried. I've tried multiple times and it's not, and most of those ones that I don't like, it's not that I hate the films by any means. Some of them I can see where they're like really good films and are well made. It's just the actual movie and like how it is just really I just don't get it. I don't get why people like it. So yeah, so I was like, I've been thinking about that, but I don't know if you guys be even interested in that type of content, but something that I've been kind of toying with, but it's a big video. There we go. JJ says Donnie Darko. See, I know that's why I know don't like to bring it up because people love it, man. Donnie Darko is a great film. If you watched it when it came out, yeah, I watched it like nobody was talking about it back then, and so I was like, I couldn't get into it ever. I've tried though, tried. Dr. Drew, dude, just kidding. I enjoyed it, but I understand why people don't. Oh yeah, no, I figured. I figured you were just kidding, brother. But even if you did, I was like, good luck. Good luck. It's like I don't get it. But yeah, that's the thing. I have quite a few films. Like when I say something, I'll get to this in just a second. But like when I have a lot of films in the collection that I'll say that I love, or I'll say they're high recommends for me. But like if I always add in the it's not for everybody, like I totally get why other people would hate the film. Like I love Hell Comes to Frogtown. It's a schlocky 80s film with Roddy Piper, and I love it, but it's dumb and it's just stupid. And it's a great Saturday afternoon film, but like most people I would recommend that to are going to hate it and they're never going to watch it. But it's something that I freaking love it, and I can't tell you why. But you have these like fake rubber monster suits, these frogs, like it's the future, all the men are sterile. And it's just one of those things that Roddy Piper is the only one that can impregnate women. And so they got to go rescue women from this frog town, and they all mutated into frog people wearing these rubber monster suits. And it's just goofy fun. And I know that not everybody loves that film. So like I'll always add, I know it's not for everybody. That's the thing is like, I get it. But and I was like, if you hate the film, I could see why, but I like it. Let's see. John says, "Oh yeah, they have a timer on everything on Vinegar Syndrome. Oh, it's like going to the casino all the way down to opening up the movie and watching it to see it for the first. So you get a big turd or a hidden gem. Yeah, 100%, 100%. I have a very small Vinegar Syndrome collection, and there's some solid ones that I went specifically to buy, like Drop Dead Fred, 100%. Thriller, 100%. Like the VSU stuff, like I all wanted that. Hell Comes to Frogtown, and I got the other one. I got a couple other that I really just wanted like day one. But then there's a few titles on that shelf where I'm like, what the hell did I buy? It's just like they're not like crazy, but I'm just like I got sucked into the art. I got fooled by the art, and it ended up not being the film that I wanted. And then let's see what do we got. Dr. Drew says, "Do you like the box? Another Richard Kelly film I enjoy. Seems like it's in the same universe." Oh, that one I remember the trailers for. I have never seen that one. That one did intrigue me though. So like Donnie Darko, like I went in completely blind. I rented that based off the movie cover, 100%. But the box, I have seen the trailer more than once. There's something I have floating around here that has the trailer to the box on it, and I've seen it like the trailer at least two or three times, and so it intrigues me. But then at the same time, I've never seen the box out in the wild. Like I never think about it at the time when I'm watching. I'm not really in the mood for that type of movie, so I don't try to buy it on Amazon or something. So it's something that it's kind of been on my radar, but I like forgot about it. And even as you said, I had to think about it a little bit. So yeah, it's on my radar, but I don't know if it's a me movie, but totally worth checking out. I think. Tom says, I feel like Donnie Darko is one of those movies that forced on you, folks who love it, presented to you as it's the best thing that's ever been made in 100 years, at least in college. Same with Boondock Saints. Okay, so I love Boondock Saints, but Boondock Saints is an interesting story for me. So like I came home, I was at work, and then I had a roommate, and I came home, and then the roommate had like probably like 10 or 15 people in our living room, and it was my television and my DVD player. But then, like, he had a lot of movies, I had a lot of movies, and there was that. But then I think it was his surround sound. I think that's what the whole workout was. So I came in, and it was like in the middle of the movie, and they were all like super into it. And so then, like, I was like, "What are you guys watching?" And they told me it was Boondock Saints, and I was like, "Oh man!" I was like, "Can I, where you at?" And they're like, "Oh, we're at the middle." So I was just like, "Oh, I gotta check this out." And then the kid it was his movie. He didn't know that I lived there. He didn't know that it was my TV and all that shit. And he goes, "Well, when it's over, I'm going home and it's my movie." And I was like, "Well, you can get the fuck out now," like kind of thing. Like I had a bad attitude about it. It's like, "Get out of here." So I just remember that like weird altercation. So it was just like I was like, but the way they were all like glued to the television, and I was just like, I got to check this out. I actually like the Boondock Saints. Boondock Saints. I freaking love it. The second one, not so much, but the first one, it's one of those things I think it's just like a great cult classic, like everything about it. But I definitely don't see it as like the best movie ever made. Like it doesn't make my top 100 favorite films of all time, easy day. But like It's up there. I mean, like if I were to only ever have, and I have a decent collection, but if I were to like knock everything out, and I'll never do this, but if I only had like 500 films total in my collection, I'm sure Boondock Saints would make that 500 easy, because it's something that I've owned since I found it. So like I've had it on DVD, and then obviously I've had it on Blu-ray. And so I was like, I've had that in my collection even before I was like even when I was in the Navy. And like when I was in the Navy, I didn't have a big collection. I think I had like top total. I think I might have had like 150 films when I was in the Navy, just because I didn't have a lot of room for that type of stuff. And so like my life changed at that point when I was in the Navy, and so like my entire DVD collection and that stuff, it stayed in New York. I left, and then so I started everything brand new then. So that was a 2006, 2009 time. That was pretty much when I started over, and I just had just Blu-rays. And then Navy time was 6 years, and then in that entire 6 years, I only had like 150 movies tops. Let's see. Tom says, "Don't have me, bro." I like Boondock Saints, man, but I was like, I'll never say it's like the best. I don't think it's the best film. I don't think it's like the greatest thing since sliced bread, you know. And like, and speaking of that, like top like 100 films, like Citizen Kane, I'll never understand that one either. I was like, I look at it, I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't get the love for it. And there are like, you have film snobs, you have people that really enjoy film, and you can usually tell the difference, just on things that they recommend. But anytime people recommend, Citizen Kane to me, I'm just like, okay, okay, let's see, what else are we gonna list off? And then everything they list off comes from that like top 100 greatest films of all time, and I'm like, I don't know normal people that like all those films. So it's just like there can be some kind of like appreciation for some of those, based on, and I agree with some of those, but not all of them. And but there can be some appreciation if you're really into film and how it's made and all that stuff. That's one of those. If you like Hell Comes to Frogtown because it's freaking awesome. That's why. Yeah, I love it. I freaking love it. Uh yeah, awesome. Glad you got that one. Yeah, cheesy. Oh yeah, yeah. Six string samurai, 100% cheesy, but it's just like I don't think I need it. I don't think I need it. Blue Corner, Boondock is far better. Yeah, Boondock Saints is far better than Donnie Darko, I believe. I was like, because I don't like Donnie Darko to begin with, but yeah, that's one. Like, I don't normally like to rank movies, but I would put those two in the same kind of thing because they have that like kind of indie vibe, I guess. What do we got? Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely keep an eye on those sales. As there's stuff that people want. You're gonna get good deals on them. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up now. I think we're all done. What? No love for Rosebud? Yeah, it's like I don't get why. And that one, I honestly, yeah, I can't get why people really just praise that film. Other than like it might be the fear of being wrong, like because it comes up on that list of like top 100 greatest films of all time, and I was like, it's been a long time since I've revisited. So I was like, I will give you that. And maybe this year I will try to rewatch it again with like complete adult eyes, and maybe I'll have a different appreciation for it. But I'm telling you, my entire life, like that one has come up. I tried to give, and basically because it was like considered one of the greatest films of all time. It's like, so I was like, I might have to give it a, yeah. I talked myself into it. I'll rewatch it this year, but I'm telling you, and it's only because adult eyes. Like I have definitely changed my perspective on quite a few movies in the past 20 years at least. Got that. John says, I was given Citizen Kane as a on Criterion as a gift. Still have yet to watch it. I lose interest in overhyped movies. Yeah, I was like, it might, people might like it, but I think it's one of those things. It's on that list, and people can't be wrong. And if you love film and you want to be associated with that, like, maybe that's why you talk about it, because like the ones that talk about like the super obscure artsy films all the time and that's what they love, like I like some of those and that's fine, but then they're totally not for everybody. But if you don't have like movies like this that you grew up watching, and maybe you don't like this one, but you don't have any movie like this that you had from your childhood that you come up on your list of favorites that you want to recommend, and you're only spitting out like Citizen Kane and like Donnie Dark, like things that are like on those like obscure movie lists, or like Mulholland Falls. I was like, you weren't watching Mulholland Falls as a kid. It's like, and that's also another weird one. So it's just like, give me some of your favorites of all time, not just like what that list represents. And so it's just like, it seems like when that one comes up, like I get off put thinking that maybe this person is just like not really a fake film fan, but like trying to be something they're not. Because if you don't have a film like this from your childhood that you love, when did you start liking film? Like when you were 40? Like it doesn't make sense to me. What do we got? Thomas says, thanks a lot, brother. Always love the show. Great. Have a great weekend. Yeah, I'm wrapping it up for real, for real. Just finishing up these chats. Take it easy, brother. Appreciate you. And thanks for that super chat. Mo Biggs, what's up, brother? Citizen Kane was very innovative film for its time, but it's not that enjoyable of a movie of a watch to me. Yeah, and that's the thing is I can understand like a filmmaking perspective on that one, but like it's just the whole thing, like how it's presented, everything. I don't get it. Even if like you're really trying to understand film and like going to film school and like all that, like breaking it down, I can see some appreciation there, but at the same time not. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Right? Uh, Dr. Drew says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is better than Citizen Kane in my mind. Yes. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I was like 100%. 100%. And hail, brother. Hail, brother. John says, exactly. I really dig your outlook on movies and films in general. You're right. Everyone should have one favorite kid movie. Have a great weekend. Yeah, you too, brother. Thanks for being here. And then I think that's it. All right, that's it. All right, everybody, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And then back to next Saturday, we're gonna go right back into the regular scheduled show. And so that was just my favorite, best, and worst of the 10 of the entire year of 2024. And great stream. Catch you on the next one. Yeah, take it easy, brother.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Oh, don't give me a cat. That's fine.